Now blue is not in her.
Hey guys, welcome back. Thank you for tuning in to another video on the Propsmith. I am Justin Warren. I am actually sitting here outside currently doing another delve into the madness with with a couple friends of mine. One of them you might know. I'm actually sitting. Well, I mean, he's not with me, but I am here with Max Sterling from LARPgasm. Go ahead and say hi, Max.
Hi, Max.
And I am also sitting with Geneva and Rachel. Geneva, go ahead and say hi.
Hello.
And Rachel, say hi, Rachel.
Hello.
Geneva and Rachel, you will remember from the last time that we played and did our Halloween extravaganza. Um, sorry, Max is blowing up chat. Um, no, disclaimer, there will probably be swearing. This is not your 12-year-old D&D session. Um, so tonight we are going to be delving into a one-shot with opportunity to continue. We'll see how this one plays out and things like that. Um,
Just don't read the chat log. Listen, it's gonna throw you off your game.
I know it keeps popping up and I'm like, what?
Put it away.
If we want to go ahead and do character introductions to get those out of the way, Geneva, if you would like to start first, and
Okay.
just whatever you would like to share.
Alright, I play a human fighter that is named Liz. I don't know if you want anything else.
You can put whatever you want.
That's it. That's all you get.
Okay.
I'm wanting more.
That's fine. Max, if you want to go ahead and go.
Yeah, I'll be playing a dwarf named Maximus, mountain dwarf, and I don't know anything about this character because Propsmith made it for me.
Yeah,
And we're gonna see how it works.
Max actually doesn't have any D&D books, so I threw together a character. He is a fighter named Maximus, and he is a hill dwarf. We are going to start all of this at level 5, and I am ignoring your chat, Max.
Just close it. Close it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna close it, and the
You
sound's
can
just gonna be
select
like,
it so you don't have to see shit.
okay. Rachel, if you would like to introduce your character.
Sure. I'm playing Skalin, a human druid. And that's all.
Scotland or Scotland? Like with an N or a D at the end of it?
A D.
Okay. Just making sure, pronouncing stuff. Alright, so we have Scotland, we have Lys, and we have Maximus. Do what?
Pila. With an N.
Yeah, Scotland.
Yeah, okay.
Alright.
Like Pila all over again.
Guess it is.
Alrighty. Prepared.
Alright, everybody has dice and or dice rollers.
We.
Working on it.
Alright. So tonight, we are going to be traveling to the main capital of the realm that you are in. You are on, the normal plane. The city is, think of Camelot. It is very large, very profound. There's a castle in the background. There is several tiers depending on, how your wealth and family status is. There's the dredge of life in the slums. There's the high nobleman closer to the castle, and this capital is Redwall. Okay, Max and Liz, you two will be in a tavern. It will be a fairly large tavern. It's the main one of the hub of the city, and you are sitting at opposing tables. There's about five or six, excuse me, five or six in this tavern. They're the long oaken tables as you would see in Valhalla or something of such. There doesn't seem like a lot of patrons tonight. There's only like four or five people besides you, and everyone seems fairly sullen. You guys have only gotten into town the previous day, gone to the big bright inn to, get rest, and it is now morning. You come down, sit down, you're eating breakfast, and, you know, if there were chat, you would join in with the chat, but unfortunately, everyone seems very self-centered this morning.
That's like every morning.
The bartender is behind his bar and kind of, wiping out a dusty glass. Um, his daughter is flitting around serving alcoholic beverages and coffee and eggs and such to start the morning. Um, you notice that the tavern door is propped open. There is the light of a new dawn shining through. A guardsman will enter through the door, plop himself down at the bar, and talk in hushed whispers to the bartender.
Do we need to roll to hear this?
You can try.
Oh god. Alright. Perception doesn't love me even though I'm proficient.
Hmm.
That's a 21.
Alright, that'll be enough.
Love me this day.
Alright, with your 21 on perception, you will hear a very hushed, frantic tone coming from the guardsman, warning the tavern keeper that a group of guards will be coming through in about 15 or 20 minutes, and that he better comply and put forth anyone who has come to the town within the last 2 days, or his establishment will be, pretty much razed and burned. They're not joking around.
Was there any sort of ledger or sign in when we came here?
There's probably a big leather book that you signed, showed that you paid your silver to spend the night. Kind of a running tab on what you're eating and drinking.
Is there any way for me to get to that change in the date to like 4 days ago?
You could try.
Oh well,
Okay.
did you hear it? Is the thing.
Yeah, Maximus has not heard this.
Oh, well, I can ask for that then.
Okay, well, you heard it with that. So both of you have heard this. Max, you are actually wearing heavy chainmail, so any sneak has disadvantage.
That's fine.
Fucking rip. Yes, in
I
very
rolled a
small pieces.
I rolled a 6, so I mean
Yeah,
I
no.
don't
You're
I don't
gonna
have
like
much
stand up
fighting.
in a giant clatter, knock your chair over. Everyone's gonna look at you. The guard is going to eye you very warily.
Morning.
He will kind of give you a curt nod and go, "Good morning to you, sir. You seem to be in a hurry. May I ask what your destination is?"
Bar.
And he'll gesture to the seat next to him and go, "My friend will be glad to serve you a drink this morning. Come, join me. Talk and join into the." He'll look around the room and go, "Festivities."
Okay. Yeah, whatever, guys. Double. Whatever.
As you try to clamber onto the stool on the bar, the bartender will set down the glass that he is currently pouring or wiping out, and will pour you a very dark-looking liquid, dark brown liquid, and fill it almost to the rim, and go, That'll be 2 silver.
I don't know if you know who I am or not, but I don't really carry silver. Here's a gold.
He will nod at you in appreciation, and the guard will look at you very warily.
That's right.
A gold for a drink? That seems very pricey. From whence do you come, dwarf?
That table over there. Remember?
Liz is trying to sneak out while this whole ass conversation's going on.
Roll it.
Also wearing chainmail, so
Roll
this
it.
is gonna go great. Nope. No, nope.
What was
All
it?
rolls were under 10.
Ooh, okay. So you will stand up. As you walk, you're making the chink 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 of chainmail, and as you get to the door and try to slip out, a band of 5 guards will block your exit. They will push their way into the bar. 2 of them will bar the door, like they're standing shoulder to shoulder so no one gets out. 3 of them will join their compatriot at the bar, and they will look around at the measly crop that has risen that morning. Um, they'll notice about 2 or 3 of the 4 people sitting at the other tables, and like they'll shoo them away, knowing that they are other townsfolk, and they will walk out of the bar. The other adventurer with you is a small silver dragonborn. They will go, one of the guards will go up to him and sit down next to him. One of the guards will flank Lys, and Maximus, the guard to your left, will place a hand on your forearm and go, "When did you get into our fair city?"
Listen, guy. I know we're having a drink at the bar, but you're not really my type.
He will scoff at you and go, "My wife at home would agree, but I would like you to answer my query. There has been a crime committed, and unfortunately, I know not your face."
Well, yeah, it's because I'm just traveling through. I don't remember. I've been drinking a lot since I got here. You might ask this guy, check the ledger.
The guard will look up at the bartender, and he will grab the ledger from underneath the counter and plop it down in front of you. It is a fairly substantial leather-bounded book, and he will look and see in Dwarvish, see your name and go, "He got here late last night. He has rented a room, had dinner, had breakfast this morning, and is yet to pay for either."
Is this guy a person? Is this guy a human person?
Yep.
Okay.
All the guards are human, the bartender's human. The guard will look at Maximus and go, "If you would like to pay your tab or not, either way, you were coming with me this morning."
Well, considering I was here, and then I was there, and then I was down here, I don't really, unless the crime occurred between my bedroom and this bar, I think you should probably take that silver dragonborn over there, since he probably did it.
The
Did he
silver,
not pay a gold to the barman
he
just
did
now?
for his drink.
I mean, would that not cover the other things?
It would. Um,
Well then.
the silver dragonborn will look at Maximus aghast, and the guard next to him will put him in shackles and lead him out.
Wow. Fucking throwing everybody under the bus.
The guard next to Lys will look at her and go, "And when did you arrive?"
This room was pre-booked for me. I'm on a travel, I guess, here to collect bolts of silk from the merchant district. I arrived late last night.
The guard next to Liz will look at Liz and Maximus and go, "So both of you arrived in the dead of night. No one knows you. Besides the barkeep, no one has seen you. I would like both of you to accompany me to the Grand Inquisitor. That way we can either get your names cleared, or you will be committed for this crime if you resist."
I'm gonna. I'm not telepathic, but I'm gonna look at her and sort of like, I don't know, try to make like a eye gesture towards my weapon, like, do you want to mess this bar up? And see if there's any response from her or not.
She like furrows her brow like a what the fuck? Why would you do that? Like there's so many people here. Are you a
I
jackass?
I
What?
decided double. It's early. I'm ready.
You have resistance against poison.
She's gonna turn back to the guard, I guess, that was speaking to her and ask what the crime was.
Someone in the dead of last night has stolen your majesty's crown.
Would it not suit you rather to just search us while we're here?
I will go through your belongings, yes, but unfortunately a crown can be hidden, and even though there is the two of you, there might be another member of your party. Several of our guards were slain last night, and I doubt that only two of you could have done that feat.
Wasn't me.
Yeah, listen. I can appreciate you not knowing us, but like I couldn't sneak up to the bar a minute ago. You really think I steal crown and kill you guys?
So you admit that you were sneaking about.
Well, I didn't want to disturb any of these people that were asleep at their table. Everyone in here looked, so spry. I didn't want to startle anyone.
And yet you got up quick enough to knock over your chair and disrupt everyone.
Oh yeah, it's those legendary dwarven cat-like graces.
The guard will actually give a small chuckle at this and go, "Yes, not all of us can be knife ears."
Oh my god!
Whoa.
Oh my
So he's
god.
so he's racist and he knows dwarvish. Okay.
Gee.
No, 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 no. The barkeep knows dwarvish.
Okay.
The guard was just like,
The guard reading
no, no, no.
the ledger.
Liz is human, but she is like personally fucking offended. 4 elves, just like, fuck does this guy think he is?
The main race in Redwall will be human.
Boo. Oh yeah.
Maybe I just should have mentioned I'm not actually a dwarf. I'm just a short guy. Fine.
You roll fucking deception for that. It's not gonna work. But you
Do
roll
it.
that.
Roll a deception.
Oh
Roll a
my god.
d20.
I rolled a 1.
Oh.
So not only do you try to pass it off in a joking manner, but it fails horribly, and the guard will look at you and go, "My toddler seems to be taller than you."
Yeah. Whatever, guy. Let's just go see executioner wherever you're taking me.
The guard will bring out a pair of shackles. He will confiscate your weapons and shackle your hands behind your back. The guard next to Liz will hold out his hand for her weapons and hold out a pair of shackles as well.
Oh. This is a very bitter decision. She like untucks the light crossbow in a way that might be construed as threatening, but hands it over. And the other weapons as well.
Okay.
The longsword and the mace.
The guard will shackle her hands behind her back, and the two of them will lead you out of the tavern. As you step through the door, the sunlight has just crested over the buildings. It's enough to kind of hurt your eyes as you step outside, and you notice that there is a small line of other races, a couple tieflings, a few dragonborn, including the one that Max threw under the bus. Um, there's a few humans, some elves, and probably about 8 or 9 people total in a line surrounded by a platoon of guardsmen. The guards will
Not
lead
very
you.
sure who's guilty, huh?
The
Or the
guardsmen will.
people.
All the people. The guardsmen will lead you to the back of the line, and the guards will press in on either side to make sure that there is really no room for escape. The column will now start not so much as a march, but a slow cantering walk towards the, excuse me, what you would perceive as the higher class district, towards the castle. As you are walking, you notice that there, Rachel, what is your race?
I'm a person.
Okay.
A person, that's not anything. Listen, human is a race. Everybody is a person.
Fine.
Apparently not in Redwall.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Look, and I heard what happened at the bar. Yeah, I'm a human.
All right. As the column walks forward, you will notice a male or female.
I'm a lady.
Okay. You will notice a.
Let's say I look like a Viking. I look like a Viking lady.
Okay.
Oh god. Like complete with helmet.
No, no, I have like a, I don't know, like a little circlet of like flowers and like sticks and stuff, and
So not so much shield maiden,
I
but
got some face paint, like halfsies, like yeah, yes for the hair and like the big like weighted down like ponytail hair thing going on, but not the shield and not the helmet.
okay.
So replace that with like nature stuff and no shield. I don't know if you're
Gotcha.
Okay. I'm okay. If
like
we can, just saying is if we continue this, I'm gonna like
like
give you a giant flower as a shield.
look like Hellion from Darkest Dungeon, and you're mostly set.
Okay, cool. All right. So as you look off towards the left, make a perception roll for me. How about that?
I also don't have a shield.
Max and Geneva, make a perception roll for me.
Oh, okay.
I'm at
20.
What was yours, Max?
18.
Okay. The both of you see a fairly tall woman with braids down her back, kind of in an alley. You notice that this alley is not so much like a dark alley, but as the morning light hits it just right, you see that there are a small gardens out the back door of what would be the higher noble houses. You notice that she is randomly walking from garden to garden, ripping up plants and stuffing them in her bag.
Well, there's your thief.
Are you calling attention to her?
Well, yeah, I just said what
In character? Okay.
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
Oh, yikes.
Because I'm gonna contest you with a stealth roll.
Case solved.
Hey, I critted. Woo!
Okay.
God.
As the guards look sideways into the alley, they see nothing as Scotland.
No, no D. One again.
You said D though.
No, I said it ends with an N.
Oh crap. Okay. Scotland. Okay.
Yes.
Thought you when I said earlier D, you were like, "Yep."
No.
Okay. Scotland will duck into the doorway of one of the bigger houses, obscured from view. They do notice that there is some dirt on the ground, but what is that in an alleyway? They will continue their canter forward and bring you to a two-story abode. You notice that there are bars on the doorway, the windows. It kind of looks like think of a Viking longhouse, but
Oh, I was gonna
multiple
say
story.
upscale pokey.
No, no. um, all the entrances are barred. There are several guards standing outside of the door, and as you approach, two guards will unbar the door and open both of them wide, and your group will be led in. As you enter, you notice that there are about a dozen cages, or cells, not so much cages, cells lining each wall. They will lead everybody in and put about 2 people in each cell. And by happenstance, I mean that my percentile dice puts you in the same cell, you guys get put in the first cell on the right.
All 3 of us?
No, no, no.
All 3
Scolin's
of
not
us?
with you. It's you and Max. Listen, Max.
Oh, I'm gonna smack this fucking dwarf.
Hey,
You wanna kill all these
we
guys
had the
real
chance at the
quick?
bar. Hey, we had the chance at the bar. I tried to motion. This could have been over. We could be out having a drink.
My dude, there were like fucking 8 people.
You notice as you look around that the silver dragonborn is put into the cage next to you.
That guy. You better call him back now. I know you love you.
He is looking at you with disdain. He will go up to the bar. His claws will grasp the iron fittings, and he will look straight at Maximus and go, "When I get out of here, I'm going to eat you."
This
Flip
guy,
left.
just threatened me. He told me he stole the crown. He threatened to kill me just now. I want to press charges.
The guards will hit your cell with a club and go, "Well, I guess we know who's going to the Inquisitor first," and will open the cell of the Silver Dragonborn and lead him out,
Oh my gosh!
kicking and threatening the stream of curses, threats directed at Maximus.
Bye-bye.
The guard will hit your cage again with a club and go, "No more of that, dwarf. We needed a place to start. Luckily, you gave it to us, but that doesn't mean that you're not next."
Hey man, I didn't do nothing. I got nothing to worry. Justice will prevail.
At any point, are we like mostly alone? Like no guards?
Oh no, there's guards but
Or like they could not see something from one side maybe?
possibly if you were to huddle in a corner.
I'm doing that, and then I'm gonna ask Max to come closer. Like, hey, how good are you with lockpicks?
That's not what I do.
Ugh,
Sorry.
fucking gotta do everything myself.
Well, you know what? I could probably. How thick are these bars? Can I just rip my way out?
They're like half-inch iron.
Are you look kind of strong? You want to just maybe we can just fight our way out.
There
Our
are
hands
8
are behind our
guards.
backs.
Yeah, you guys are shackled
Okay.
behind your backs, and there are 8 guards.
Can we break the shackles?
You can try. Roll me a strength.
I'm gonna try as well, but trying to be subtle.
Can you take 4 guards barehanded?
She's just rolling her eyes at you. And try to break the... That's not good. Nope.
Max, do you want to try rolling?
I rolled so that's a strength roll, right? So I
Yep.
would have, and you said it's +8, so
Well, on your strength, it'll be a +4.
a +4, so 23.
Shit.
Jesus.
Okay. Maximus actually bends and breaks the connecting chains to his shackles, but does so make a sneak roll, a stealth.
Yeah, right. 1.
Oh my god.
This dice rolling program hates me.
Everything hinged on them not knowing.
As you break the connecting chain on your shackles, the chain that busts will bounce against the iron bars, making a very loud tinging sound, drawing the attention of 4 guards near you. They will look at you in utter disbelief at the fact that you just broke through iron shackles, for one.
Man, you humans need to figure out how to forge metal. You suck.
Two of them
Encourage them.
Two of them will place spears through the holes of the cage,
Dwarven crafts.
pointing them at you. The other 2 will draw heavy crossbows and aim them at you. and order you to get back against the corner.
All right. Sorry. Didn't realize my own strength.
They will also direct Liss into the opposite corner.
Okay, I just go.
That's her chance.
The main guard, the guard that was up against the bar with Maximus, will walk down the row of cells and look at him and go, pretty much just, dude. He'll look at you and go, you are not making a very good case to plead your innocence.
I'm sorry. I was very itchy and I didn't realize they would break.
I
I mean,
will.
where am I gonna go? I'm obviously outnumbered by a superior force with no weapons, so it would be pointless for me to try to whatever you're thinking I'm trying to do.
He will step up to the main gate of the door and go, you realize that politeness goes a very long way with us. If you were simply to have asked, we would have unshackled you.
Oh, I thought you said you were gonna scratch it for me.
He will make a very, very noticeable eye roll and step away from the cage, ordering the 4 guards to remain vigilant and tell them that in a half hour the Inquisitor will be done with the Dragonborn and that the dwarf, and he'll look at Liz and go, and the human will be next.
She like turns over her shoulder just like a little bit with like a raised eyebrow, like, okay, tough guy. Like, chill out, maybe.
Fine.
He'll walk, back down the row of cells towards the giant iron door that the Dragonborn was dragged through, and will knock a couple times and be let through. Make a perception roll.
Both of us.
Uh-huh.
22. Oh my god, perception's going good for me today.
Out of 14.
Okay. So both of you notice that as the door opens, there is a silver Dragonborn strapped into a chair in front of a table, and a woman is, on the other side, and she does not look happy. The silver Dragonborn is bleeding from several cuts. One of his eyes. Do what?
Just to clarify, is it like a questioning table?
Yeah, like it's.
Questioning. Okay.
Yeah.
Like police
Torture
questioning.
implements
Okay.
or like just a
Not that
table with
you
that
can.
shit
Not that you can see. You notice that his left eye, the one closest to you, is fairly swollen shut. Um, he doesn't look great. The door will close before you can see much more, and the guard, before closing the door completely, will go, kindly wait, we will get to you next. And the door will shut, and you can hear a large bolt being dropped on the other side, securing the door. So, you guys have a choice. You can either try to escape, or, wait and be questioned by the Inquisitor.
or just be guilty anyway.
Hey, did you steal this thing? I asked you. I'm asking you.
Me?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Did you steal this thing?
No, Jesus Christ, that's too much
I
fucking trouble.
I
I'm
didn't
trying to go through here.
I didn't either. So I mean, I don't know. I don't want that chick to beat me up in there.
Okay,
Dragonborn's pretty upset.
have any of you guys played Dragon Age Inquisition?
Ha ha ha! Yes, I have. Introduce me to the Cassandra, please.
Yep, her. Basically her. Okay.
We were talking about that just today.
I know.
So,
Questionable book instead.
right. So as you guys, are you gonna wait, or are you gonna try to do something stupid?
Hi. Yeah, I'm gonna try lockpicks, which I would
Behind
have
your
on
back?
me if. Yes, may
You're gonna have a disadvantage. And there are 4 guards looking at you, by the way.
Okay, is there no way to have it like just out of view?
You can put your hands like back against the wall and try to pick out of your shackles, or you
I
could
do
just.
plan on doing this.
Yeah, I'm going to point
Just
out that
had
they
to
did say
try.
if you asked, they would remove them.
Why would I trust them?
Fair
I
point.
don't know.
Are mine still broken?
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
god, my first one's a crit. I'm gonna be so fucking mad if the second one's really bad. No! Oh my god, double crits. I'm taking a picture of this. I need you guys to believe me and how fucking amazing this is.
Okay, so
Double fucking 25s.
nice. So not only do you lockpick your shackles, you also will slip them off of your wrist very sneakily and toss them over your shoulder
Oh god.
and kind of have
No,
them
no, no,
perched
no,
on
no,
your shoulder.
no, 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 let's not do that bullshit. Okay, we're
No?
not trying to like tease these people. I'm gonna pretend like they're still latched.
Okay.
Just like leave them there.
All right. Um, I feel that that act would probably take the better part of about 15 minutes.
Sure. If
Okay.
that's how long we're waiting there and there.
Um, you notice that the iron door opens and the silver dragonborn will stride out. He looks perfectly fine.
That's weird.
Healing. It's a thing.
Healing is a thing. He will stop in front of your cage, kind of bump one of the guards with the spears to the side, and look straight at Maximus and goes, "As soon as you get out, I will find you."
Guy, I came and begin to tell you how much I am not afraid. You should be concerned that when I get out, you accidentally find me.
He will give a hearty chuckle and kind of unfurl his wings just a little bit,
Ooh, he's low-key.
and he will tap a single
Whatever,
claw against the lock.
whatever. Get back to the tavern, get the crown, and get out of here before they realize you stole it.
Jesus,
He will
really rushing
growl at
it like
you and
that.
go, "I'll be waiting." And he will stride out of the makeshift barrack, lodging house, whatever, and the door will close behind him. The main guard will exit out of the iron door, point to your cell, and go, "You 4, lead them to the Inquisitor. She has questions for them." The guards will open the cell door. The spearmen will step back. The crossbowmen will step towards the iron door, and they will usher you out of the cell at spear point and crossbow point.
Ladies first. I insist.
She's staring you down right now, just like totally fucking not impressed and done with your shit. And then goes anyway because she wants to get this shit done.
That's right.
Also appreciate my double 25s, please. Oh my god.
They're appreciated.
Never having these before in my life.
So the guards will shuffle you down the row of cells. Make a perception check for me, both of you.
Okay. That's a 12. Had to pay for all my other 20s.
14.
Okay. As you walk by, you notice that there is a group of 4 elves sharing a single cell, and they look fairly beaten. Like they weren't exactly keen to comply to being led to jail.
Well, you
Are
guys
they
are
shackled?
big.
They are shackled. They are also not only shackled upon the wrist, but upon the ankle as well.
Are they. So it's just. They're laying on the floor basically, or standing very awkwardly?
They're kind of standing, crouched, just kind of meandering around the cell.
Yikes. So are they. They're in front of us and behind us?
No, no,
The
they're like
guards?
off to your right in a cell.
Can I like toss a lockpick in for them? They're not gonna appreciate it, but just
Roll a
in case.
stealth.
Oh. Is it. Do I have to roll with disadvantage advantage if I'm just throwing something?
I'll let you do it regularly.
Oh, well, let's see if this one goes well anyways. That's a 13, so not great.
It's enough. If you were doing 12 or higher, I'd give it to you. So you're able to flick a lockpick. Unnoticedly, it will skirt across the floor and into their cell, and one of the elves standing will quickly cover it with his foot. He will give a curt nod, and the other elves look very appreciative, and he will just simply say, "Good luck." Oh, I had a freaking line and it just disappeared. He'll say good luck, and you know, as you guys are led past, I was gonna do like um one turn deserves another, but I like lost the whole thing. So you're led
I'll
through.
come back to you eventually, like further on, be like, oh, this
Right.
is what I was gonna say.
All right. So you guys are led through the. All right, I'm gonna like cut the audio right there and enter what I was gonna say. But you guys are led through the iron door, and another fairly stout chair is placed side next to the one that the Dragonborn was in. Across the table, you see a lady dressed in very fine black plate mail. She has black hair. She actually has it pulled back. Upon the table is a basically a crusader helm, and you two are led to either chair, sat down, and shackled into this chair. As you were sat down, Liss, the guards will notice that your shackles are unlocked.
Man, I was just about to fucking ask, like, as we were being walked in, I'm like, so what kind of, what kind of we deal with? Can I, like, click them back into place if I need to?
The one guard will turn to the other and go, "You buffoon, she wasn't even shackled correctly." And
I'm still here.
he'll kind of smack him and be like, "Go guard the others." They will set you down and shackle your ankles to the legs and your um, hands and wrists to the arms of the chairs. The lady across the table will look at you and go, "I am the Grand Inquisitor. You will tell me what I need to know, or things will get unpleasant for you."
You mean more unpleasant than it already is? Great, great, just making sure.
She'll kind of give a smirk and go, "Things have been fairly pleasant for you since. I have not denied you food or water. We have not kept you more than a brief time in our jail. There have been some that have been here for much longer than you, for less serious crimes.
That must say something about your laws, doesn't it?
You see no thievery in the streets, no one being assassinated. I run a very productive guard system, even though some of them seem to be fairly incompetent. Do you two know why you were here?"
I'm not with her, by the way. I don't even know her name. They told me I had to come with them because, actually, I don't even know. Because I was a dwarf.
The Inquisitor will be like, "That will be noted." And you notice back in the corner there is a guy kind of writing in a fairly large leather tome, recording everything that has been said. The two of you are here because late last night, not only were a dozen of my guardsmen slain, but the crown of His Majesty has been stolen. And unfortunately, those of you who are not known in the city could have been contracted to steal such an object. So we have brought all of you in for questioning. And she kind of chuckles at the last word.
Oh, great. Cool. That's out of character, by the way. Oh no, wow, okay, good. So did they reshackle my arms, or am I
Yep.
just like,
Nope, you guys are shackled into these chairs.
damn? So it's like electric chair type shit, where like
Kinda.
you're shackled to the legs and the arms of it.
Yeah.
Oh, fun. Favorite thing. Great, neat.
Do either of you have any information on what happened?
Nope.
Absolutely not. This is the wrongest place and the wrongest time I have ever been, so if we can get this over quickly, I would appreciate it.
What has brought you into our city?
I was just passing through.
Yep.
So both of you have not only arrived on the night of the crime, but also have very shoddy alibis.
If I knew there
So
was
what
gonna be
can
a
I?
crime, I would have come tomorrow.
If we knew there would have been a crime, no crime would have been committed. What do you know of the black market?
Nothing. This is my first time coming through this way.
I literally live under a mountain. I have never even seen the sun until yesterday, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, and she'll take out a dagger. You notice that it has it's actually bloodied. And she'll set it on the table and go, your answers need to have a little bit more gumption for me to believe them. You know nothing of the black market that one would sell a crown. You know not of the crime committed. Everything you were saying points to the fact that you were innocent, and yet, why do I not believe you?
I don't know.
This just says nothing.
Maybe
It was
maybe
just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
maybe they should have hired someone else because maybe you're not right for the job.
She will pick up the dagger and slam it blade point into the wooden table in front of her and go, maybe a prisoner wouldn't shoot blame to another if he were not guilty.
No, I think that guy was probably just guilty. That's why I pointed him out.
And what did he do to, let's say, pique your suspicion?
Because he looked like the only one strong enough to be able to do the things you're describing.
Strong enough.
You
If
think me or her could take out 12 of your guards, sneak into the castle, steal a crown or whatever you're talking about? No way. I can. Nah. I'm drunk. I can't hardly even function. You're lucky I walked down here. They have to drag me.
and yet you have enough of your wits about you to break out of your shackles?
I sneezed. They broke it. Must have been faulty equipment.
Faulty equipment.
Well, if hers slipped off of her, I think you might need some new shackles. These things might just be old.
If that is the case, then we shall see. Why don't you try to break out of the ones that bind you now? Make a strength check.
3. Well, plus 4.
That's fine. So
Dramatic.
But I'm not really trying that hard.
right, no, that's good in your favor
It's
right
good
now,
that
actually.
somebody's like, I can't do this.
No.
So as you try to pull against the shackles, nothing really happens, and the Inquisitor will look at you and go, perhaps the the weld set by our blacksmith was not the best for your shackles, and perhaps my guardsmen were just incompetent enough not to click hers closed. And perhaps, she says begrudgingly, we have imprisoned you on a faulty note. You two seem to have, well, she'll look at Liz and go, at least one of you seems to have their wits about them. Um, I will let you free on one condition. You will work with my guardsmen. You will find the crown. And you will bring it back to me. You will gather any information you can throughout the city. And you will report to any guardsmen that you see. Do this, and not only will I make your stay in our city more comfortable, but you will be owed a debt. Does this sound pleasing to you?
I mean, if you guys don't know where to look, then how are we supposed to know where to look?
Well, as you see, my guardsmen seem to be rounding up anybody of suspicion. So maybe it takes somebody that is not from around here to gain the trust of less reputable people. I can't send, one of my guards to ask questions without everybody, raising their defenses. Maybe it takes someone not from around here.
Oh, she heaves a really big sigh, just like, Jesus Christ, these people. Yeah, sure, just unlock these.
And you, sir, does this sound pleasing to you?
What she said.
The Inquisitor will stand up and motion for the guy writing in the tome to bring forth a piece of parchment, and she will draw up a contract. The guards will unshackle both of your hands and your feet, and she will slide across a contract stating that you will work in part with the guards to find the crown, and then if you find any information and or the crown itself, you'll be paid for the duties that you have performed.
Quick question. Are contracts still valid? Like, are you still bound to them if you don't use your real name?
I mean, you can put a false name, they're not gonna know.
No. I mean, Liz is a false name. Like, it's not a real name.
Okay, yeah, no,
At
that's,
this point.
as long as you're going by it, it doesn't matter.
Well, you didn't
I guess
exactly
I'll
introduce
them.
yourselves to them either, so.
Yeah, you have not introduced your names either, so you could put down frickin' Tom Jones and whatever.
Friday, beat my ass. Just like,
I draw like a square with like a line through it. Like not even shortened rune, just like a symbol that I make up on the spot.
Okay.
That's for that's all I know.
nice. Liz is gonna sign it in a hand that's probably too fancy for someone that looks like this much shit.
Nice. The Inquisitor will go, "You are free to go. If you find anything of interest, please report either back here or to any guardsmen that you see, and we will pay you accordingly." And the iron door will open, and you'll be led out past the row of cells. Make a perception check.
Oh, great.
6.
22!
Okay, Liz,
Yeah.
You
Nice.
notice that the elves have all unlocked their shackles. They are still wearing them. And one of them, standing very close to the gate, will whisper at you, "Find us in the black market, and your good deed will be repaid."
She does a really confused look like, do I really want to do this? And then just nods and walks away.
Okay, you guys walk out. You,
What shit am I getting myself into this time?
the guards will open the door and lead you outside. And the sun, as you walk out, the sun is getting a little bit more towards midday than early morning. It's probably about 9, 10 o'clock.
Oh, so that wasn't long.
No, not at all.
Alright. Are we alone? Is it just us?
It is just you two. The guards will return all of your weapons.
No, wait. Like, while we're walking out, Liz is gonna, like, smack one of them on the ass and just keep walking. That felt like something that needed to be added in.
Okay. The guard will kind of look her up and down and go, "Oh, if you were only from around here, and if I wasn't married, then maybe."
Well, I'm not around from anywhere, technically. Just walks away. Like, no response, no wink, no nothing.
Just books it. Okay. They did give you back all of your weapons on your way out.
Nice.
Um, I need Max to make a perception roll.
11.
11. Okay. Everything seems perfect.
Cool.
Everything is fine. So where are we right now?
You were in the higher estates. The people around here are fairly rich. There is a lot more guard traffic than usual because they're protecting the houses and such. Um, if you're thinking like a tier system, you'd be on like the third tier. The castle would be on the fourth. The tavern that you guys are in would be on the second, and the first tier would be like the slums.
Would I know what's like a good idea for keeping a black market? Do I need to roll something to be like, hey, where would this be? Actually,
It would
maybe.
not be something that you would find with a roll.
Okay. Just making sure.
It would be information gathered.
So, yeah, lady. Hey, I don't know about you, but, this would probably be the time to get the hell out of this town and never come back here. So, see ya. Where's the closest exit?
She's just blank staring you as you walk away. I just like, yeah, okay, that's about as expected.
As you two are conversing, you notice off in another alleyway, Scolin is planting seeds.
Oh,
Again,
hey.
I'm not that super in nature, but yeah, okay, that's fair.
Hey, hold on. That's that thief. That's the one that took the crown.
You don't know shit. Stop fucking hearing.
How far am I from them?
Probably about 80 feet.
Okay.
Like they
I'm
can
so far
see
to the
you,
lane not
but
to hear someone
I
accuse
know.
you.
Yeah. It's like yelling down the alley.
We could start there, anyways.
I also do have like owlbear feathers in here.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Towards
what
guilty.
does that point towards guilty?
So how you want to do this?
She just start fucking walking, just like
Am
in that
I
direction.
what time is it?
Like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning.
Okay. Can I roll to see if I notice them?
Yeah.
I know they're farther than my vision, but I mean like it's daylight, so does it really matter?
No, in daylight you can see for like a while. It's not only in like I want to say it's dim light or darkness does that area actually matter.
Okay. Is it a perception roll?
Yeah. Okay. You will notice them being moved out of the makeshift jail, their weapons returned, and the fact that Liz is kind of looking at him like, what the fuck?
I mean, do I know it's a jail? Because I haven't been over there.
You could probably figure it out due to the bars and the guards.
And lots of
Okay,
people
okay.
in shackles being
So it's
walked
obviously
in.
like okay, I didn't know it had bars obviously around the building. Okay, uh, I guess I'm gonna like stop what I'm doing and
So
just
just
stand
like
there.
drop all the seeds on the ground, like
Yeah,
pat off your hands a little bit, like
done.
me.
I'm gonna like toss him like birdseed. Done. I mean, do I feel like they're gonna be a threat to me?
Liz is walking towards you at this point.
How tall
Um,
are you?
you don't feel any angst from Liz,
Liz is
but
5'10".
Okay, I'll be like 5'8".
you don't feel any malice.
Bitterness, yes. Malice, probably not.
Okay. Did I see the silver dragonborn walk out?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Where
You
did he go?
um, he kind of
I mean,
just
he just walked by the alley and I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Like you saw him
Okay.
leave, but you didn't see.
Sure.
Like he walked down the street, but you didn't see. Like you weren't
Okay.
super interested in a silver dragonborn walking down the street.
I got stuff going on.
Yeah, you had seeds to plant.
Yeah. Okay.
Shit to do, seeds to plant,
I mean, I guess I'll
the good stuff.
wait for Liz.
Okay.
All right, Liz will get to about 15, 10 feet away from you. Max, I would assume, would be following.
Yeah, I'll strike the dwarven pose behind her, arm in my hands.
Oh my god. Everything is just so showy. I'm dying inside. In real life and in character.
All right. I mean, it's a conversation's up to you guys.
Okay. I'm gonna put 10 more feet between us.
Okay.
I'm rechecking like wherever I'm planning or I'm planning. I'm just gonna recheck the alley, and then I'm gonna turn towards you, Liz, and I'm gonna kind of be like, "Can I help you?"
I mean, have you been near this fucking weird ass bar building the whole time? You know that shit's
No.
going weird in this fucking city?
No.
Oh my god.
What
Just
are you
like
saying this out loud? I'm like,
clenched fist to the forehead, like, Jesus Christ.
Man.
This city fucking sucks.
And I decided to let her talk.
I'll agree with you that the city is not great.
What's your charisma, dwarf?
Uh,
14.
Same. Let's fucking do something about this.
Alright.
You have some shit to say that's not immediate acquisitions? Or just like, fuck off? It's you! Just like in all my other groups. Yay! I'll do the talking. So, did you see anything weird, like, last night? Were you out last night? I don't know what the fuck's to
I don't know
ask
what I
you.
was doing.
Jesus
Yeah, I was
Christ.
taking plans. I was
You were
Told you she's a thief.
taking plants.
yeah.
Were any of them round and gold and glowing?
Like I'm gonna be like I'm gonna get into like this like herbology discussion that you're like what the fuck is going on, and I'm gonna be like look it this isn't the terrain where this certain plant lives. It needs to be outside of this wall. So
Right,
I'm just
botanist.
rerouting it from where look it there's no owlbears in the city, so I don't care. So I'm just gonna do my part to make nature better and not in this garbage trash hole.
You do realize that these people being filed in and out of this building are in there for stealing?
Okay. I'm not stealing. I'm transplanting.
You are stealing.
Heyo!
These are possessions of people, and it doesn't matter if it's the wrong fucking terrain for them. Why am I talking about plants? Listen,
Yeah.
listen, okay? There was a was stolen from some asshole, and
I think it was the king.
I need to know some general information if you know anything about this area.
Yeah, what's the black market?
This is that little half turnaround where you're just like losing your mind. Just like,
Yeah, I am.
As
Yeah.
you guys are talking, a fairly small stature, probably about 5'2", 5'3", elderly lady, a human, will walk past the alley, kind of give you a side glance, and as you go, do you know anything about the black market? She will look at you and go, shh, not near the guards.
I'm immediately leaving this flower fucker and just
Flower
talking to
fucker.
this old lady.
Again.
Hey, hold on,
now that
Grandpa. Yeah, let's go talk to this old lady.
She's no. She stopped in that, like, in the entry to the alleyway. Like, she's looking at you and going, "Don't talk about that near the guards.
Where?
Like, don't talk about the black market near the guards."
Ah,
Where?
she just talked about it.
Where can we discuss this if you're willing to give us information?
Well, if you'd follow me, um, if you need a space for free speech, I I I know a place.
I want to inside check this fucking old bitch.
Okay,
That's a 14 only.
she's telling the truth.
Damn it. She feels so shady.
She will start to hobble along and walking further away from the makeshift jail back
What's that
towards.
Scullin's charisma?
Do what?
Or I mean, are you pretty good looking, or as a character, Scullin?
Oh. Yeah, my bad. Pretty cute.
All right, you should probably come with us.
There was the priority right there.
Do I need to come with you?
Yeah, I'm not rolling, but if you want to be persuaded, you can. You should probably come with us.
Why are you not rolling?
Because it's gonna be shitty.
I don't want to force you into an avenue you don't want to go down. Plus, I'll roll one.
Well, this isn't fair enough to invite you.
I mean, if I'm gonna get yelled at constantly, then no.
Oh, I rolled a seven. I rolled a 17.
Sure.
Fancy.
There's plants. You should come.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The exotic ones, you know, black market.
Mm-hmm.
Half off deal.
Buy one get one free.
All right, so the three of you will follow this old lady who's moving fairly spryly for her old age. Um, she walks back down towards the tavern that you guys were in and past it, and more into the slum-like area. You guys walking for about 30 minutes. She will stop at a not so much of a hut, but a smaller building. It's kind of run down, and she'll open the door and go, "If you'd like to step in, I'm always accepting visitors. There's, you know, free speech here. We can talk about anything that we'd like, away from prying ears." And she'll,
Familiar.
Right on the doorway, I want to check for traps because that's part of my character's paranoia.
okay,
So it's just perception or it's investigation if I'm that close?
do an investigation.
Oh boy. That's 11.
You do not see any
Why not
kind of
bother?
traps.
I'm ready to die. It's fine.
Here, let me talk to this lady. Yeah, I come from under the mountain, and I'm looking to buy a crown for my king, and I have this bag full of money.
Oh my
Can you point me
god.
in the right direction?
Well, if you were looking for a crown, I know a fairly decent blacksmith that deals in metal.
Show
Um,
him in your real life.
I need it real
Lower
nice.
cover.
I need it real nice, like the one the guy had here.
oh, so if you were looking for more finery, Our market does not deal in such finery, but I have heard tale of a market ran by the local Assassins Guild. Um, Unfortunately, I know not of the entrance, but I do have one of my grandchildren who has been in trouble recently. He seems to have fallen with less reputable people, and I'm sure that he would know of such a place.
Would you be kind enough to direct us to him?
Well, of course. Anything for friends.
Oh shit. Like, is this indicating that the news of what happened inside has already gotten out, or
The general people will know that the crown has been stolen. Like
so
it's
just
not a
like, hey,
secret.
anybody that's been in this jail and interrogated is friends now?
Make a perception check.
Oh, good.
Would it be an insight check?
That's a 19 for perception.
No, it's a perception.
I'll change my roll.
Okay. Oh. Okay.
You'll notice that on the old lady's collar is a symbol of a dagger being plunged into a potion bottle, and you have the weird sense that you have seen the symbol before. What was your perception?
19.
You have seen the symbol on the collar on one of the elves that you helped with the lockpick.
So she is just directly affiliated and just isn't showing us, or she really just doesn't know?
She doesn't know well, she's going to help you, but she's not going to be like, hey, look, go move that boulder.
Rips off the shirt. Alright, let's fucking go! Oh man. Okay.
If you would like to see my grandson, he should be, well, he should be working, but he seems to sleep in. So if you three would like to step inside, I can see if I can wake him.
That is our best option. Thank you for speaking with us? Question mark?
Not at all, dearie. One good turn deserves another.
It's like we're tails all over again.
You talking about my accents?
Leave his grandma accent alone. I've heard so many worse, like, oh my god.
She's like a little kind old lady that is sort of associated with an assassin's guild, so shush.
Come closer to the fire, dearie.
So she will usher you guys inside, and as you step in, you notice that the house is a split level. There are stairs leading up to the second level. The main room you walk in has a fairly decent sized hearth with a fire going. There is seating around the hearth, and she'll kind of make a gesture to the seating and goes, "Let me go upstairs. I need to rouse my grandson, and he will be down to talk to you about whatever you wish."
Alright. I guess
That
this is
that
just
doesn't
a
mean
sit
plans.
down.
No, that doesn't mean plans. Start talking about plans.
I'm ignoring everybody. I'm just gonna stand there.
You're just gonna what?
Sits down.
I'm just standing there. I'm ignoring everybody. I'm just gonna stand there.
Okay.
Where
Uh,
I'll sit down, see if there's anything to eat or drink. I'll just like help myself.
okay, there's some like, old lady like hard candy and probably some like biscuits or something.
Oh, score! What the
Yeah, like, it's not like good old lady candy. Like it's been there for a while.
This crap's my poison. I won't eat anything.
It's
Oh,
all
okay,
good.
so
You have
you're
poison
immune to it, right?
resistance.
Oh yeah. Never mind that.
So the old lady will go upstairs. She will come back down, and behind her will be a fairly young-looking half-elf.
I thought you were gonna
How
say the
young
dragon.
is young?
Like 16, 17. What did you say, Rachel?
I thought you were gonna say the dragonborn.
Oh, yeah, no. No, no, no,
I
no.
was waiting for it.
You notice that on
They could
his...
deal with him eventually.
Yeah, eventually. You notice that on his collar is the same sigil. You can't tell if it is like sigil of a house or of an organization. But he'll mill about the hearth and pour himself some coffee because there's coffee in my world. Rachel. No, Rachel has like a standing thing of anytime I ask a barkeep for coffee, there is none.
I've seen it.
What is this coffee you speak of?
He'll mill around and get some biscuits and sit down in a fairly comfortable leather armchair. Um, the old lady will mill about doing some housework. She's like off in the corner sweeping.
This is somebody's house?
Yeah,
Okay. Like, I thought we were just here.
Yeah.
yeah. This is the old lady's
Not a
house.
great place.
Okay.
Um, the young half elf will prop his feet up on the stonework of the hearth, and will look at you and go, "I am Ray. My grandmother seems to have taken a shine to you. She has instructed me to provide you with some information that may have been given to me by some friends."
All hypotheticals, naturally.
Of course. May I ask what you are looking for?
Anything, everything. Seems like you guys have a good thing going here.
It depends on what you define as a good thing. Make a
Yes, it really
perception check
does,
on him,
doesn't it?
please.
Oh, good.
Like everybody, make a
That's
perception check.
that's a natural fucking one. Total of 6.
16.
16.
Okay. Um, the two of you
That's
that did not
compensated for my
critically fail,
failure.
What is it?
the two of you that did not critically fail will notice that he's got some gold jewelry on. His clothes are they're not fine, but they're pretty decent. Like, I'm not gonna be wearing rags, but I don't want to, stand out too much. Um, his dress is much more. It's a lot finer than the accommodations. Like, you feel like he has some money but doesn't want to show it.
Very smart.
I'm just like looking at him like.
Smart man. Kid. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, he's
but
a
he's
kid.
he's 16 years old, like dead ass 16.
Like dead
Not
ass
like
16.
not like he's like 25, but he's still 16 and half elf years.
No, no, half elves age the same as humans.
Well, as far as I saw, they lived to like 180. So
Well,
I
they
guess.
do, but they just have an extended life. What, Rachel?
Okay, cool. So we're dealing with a baby here.
What does this guy look like?
He's got a not so much of the kind of shaved sides. He's got a ponytail going on. His ears are slightly pointed, not so much as like an elf's, but you can tell that he's not human.
I meant like eye color, hair color, not.
Oh, he's got like a dark brown hair, like you feel like the old lady used to have before it went silver. Um, his eyes are blue. He's fairly attractive and he knows it.
Great.
Well, yeah, if he's fake
Great.
suppressing his bling.
This is why you immediately ignore it.
Yeah, are there any, does she have any, like, plants on her windowsill or anything?
Um,
No.
Here we go.
She was like, oh,
I'm
wait.
gonna have to make a fucking child leash out of
Oh,
rope.
You don't. I don't know you.
Fun rope.
Eventually. Don't stop at the
There'll
plant.
I'm
there's
not. I'm gonna look at them.
there's
Sure.
there's some cactus in the window.
Okay.
Um, one of them has a nice, like, pretty pink flower. You can see that they are very well taken care of.
Okay. I'm gonna go over there and compliment them.
The old lady will walk over and join you and start a hushed conversation about plants.
Well, now you gotta marry her.
Yeah.
Um,
Done.
I do
Ray.
that for. I do that for whoever line they're gonna be talking to this guy.
Okay, Ray will look at the two of you and go. So you were seeking information about what exactly?
Okay, keep going. I'm gonna get a drink, but go, go, go.
Okay.
I'm plant conversation, but go.
Yep.
I never said we were looking for information.
Well, my grandmother has informed me that I should talk to you. I would assume that being new to the city, since of course I do not know you, that you would be looking for something. Yes?
Depends on what you guys have.
Well, we have just about anything if you know the right place to look.
Then I would prefer to get on with the looking. If you could help us out so kindly.
Well, you've my grandmother has taken a shine to you, but I
Payback.
I do not trust you. I do not know you. And I am
Nor
not
do
in
I.
the business of giving out information to strangers that I do not trust.
Just kidding.
Shut the fuck up, you were leaving.
Well,
Get out of here. What does it take to get you to trust these days?
I mean, depends on what you have to offer. Information, coin, something of resale. Go buy some bubblegum and a skateboard.
And then maybe we'll live later. Oh, Jesus. All I have is fucking 10 gold. No.
I gave you 2,000.
No, no. Listen, I don't listen. 2,000. Jesus,
I'm
that's a
paying.
big deposit.
What's not to trust about us? I bounced on my bar tab and didn't pay for this room. We got arrested and escaped, and now here we are. I'm looking to spend this full bag of money I have on expensive crap that they don't have at your little weed black market down there. So I heard if you want the real stuff, you're the guys to talk to.
Oh, if you were looking
And
to,
I like your shirt.
he'll kind of fluff it up a little bit and go, "Thank you." And if you were looking to spend coin, then I perhaps I might know a place. There is a, how would you say it? An underground trading system that a few of us less reputable people have hidden from the guards.
Hypothetically, of course.
Of course.
I'm gonna keep, like, throwing that in there every, like, 10 minutes. Just be a
Um,
jackass.
how much gold are you looking to spend on your quandaries?
So, before, did he ask us to give him something?
He
Or was he just
he's
asking?
wanting something in return for information.
It's like I kind of do this for free.
Alright, cool. So, Liz is going to, without a word, take out a 1-pound red egg from the satchel and hold it out to him, but at a distance where he can't actually grab it.
He will look at it and go, "And what exactly do we have here?"
Don't know. Found it in my travels. Might be interesting.
So you're offering me an unknown item for what exactly? We need to make the terms of our arrangement fairly clear. It prevents either of us from getting shafted, so to speak.
All we want is to know how we get your market.
Oh, well, if that is all you were asking, then I perhaps could lead you to said market, if there was such a thing. And in return, that egg would probably be compensation, I would assume. Yes?
She offers it out fully this time.
He will take the egg and kind of turn it over in his hands and set it next to the hearth near the fire and go, if you would like to venture towards a market, I would say that at first you would need to go to the market on the third tier and inquire with the seller of produce on where you might find a specific apple.
A specific apple. This is the key word to let him know.
Specific apple.
If you were to ask the produce seller for a specific apple, then you would, meh, sorry, stumbling over my words. If you were to ask for a specific apple, then the produce seller would, upon hearing such a quandary, tell you how to find said item.
I hope you feel appropriately compensated with the egg.
Well, if it does not hatch, then at least I have food.
She's gonna throw him 100 gold too.
He will
Because what's money?
he will catch it and tuck it into like on his belt kind of thing and go, if you were looking for finer wares than what we could accommodate, look for someone with a crest like mine, and they will speak the same words that you are asking the produce vendor, and they will answer one question and one question only.
Understood?
And
That's a great time.
he'll stand up and go, "It was a pleasure doing business with you," and he will walk back upstairs.
So we got what we need. She's actually speaking to Max for the first time. Also, there's a really hefty echo going on.
Yeah, I can't hear it.
Yeah, I don't know anything.
Maybe it was just me then,
Okay.
somehow.
So the old lady will hand Scotland a pack of cactus seeds and some hawk feathers and kind of go milling about the kitchen and go, anytime that you would like to come rest or just say hello, my door is always open. If there's anything that you need in your travels, please do not hesitate to stop by. And she'll go about sweeping the floor and stuff.
Well, I'm ready to go if you guys are.
Yep, let's go.
All right. So you guys will all stand up and head outside. You'll head back towards the second tier where you notice there are some vendors, bringing out carts now that the day is it's about midday, so they're peddling their wares and stuff like that. They set up a makeshift market in one of the squares of the town. It's a couple streets over from the tavern. Like you guys are walking up past the tavern and you see it, a couple streets over, and you kind of veer that way. You do notice that there are, some guards milling about. If you'd like to talk to them, um, I need Max to make a perception check.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. You notice that someone is following you.
Oh man, someone's following me.
you get a glint of silver ducking into an alleyway.
That son of a bitch.
Are you saying this out loud, or are you just like
Yeah,
muttering?
I'm saying that's me talking out loud. I should have hired that kid to kill this guy.
Yeah, you probably would have done it.
Shit.
I mean, I have 4 gold.
Hold on, you know what? I'll hire someone. We get where we're going. All right.
All right, so you guys draw up to the marketplace. You see that there is an armor outside with some weapons and stuff, some shields. There is the produce lady selling cheese and apples and stuff. There's another cart selling meats. There is a cart that looks to be like an elderly gentleman selling alchemist supplies, things like that. But everything seems to be fairly common, like you could find it just about anywhere. You do notice that there is absolutely no, like, there's no wizards, there's no warlocks, no sorcerers, nothing seems to be magical in this town at all.
Explains why the questioning was so difficult.
I'll ask the produce lady. I'll say, "Hey, do you sell a specific apple?"
You're just gonna, like, straightforward walk up and be like, hey, okay.
Bliss wants to pay attention to behind
Well,
them to see if she can catch whoever's following.
Yeah. Do you sell specific apples?
The fairly young
Am I doing this right?
the fairly young elf will look at you and go, if you're looking for specific apples, if you would find my shop on, a couple streets to the right, I have an apple tree in my backyard. If you were to go there, you would find the specific apples you were looking for that I do not sell here.
She's telling us where to go.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Thanks. Thanks, guy.
Can kill us all.
You say Pan, kill us all?
No.
Oh, I thought you were praying to, like, the Greek god Pan to just murder everybody. I'm like, that's the wrong one.
Hey, man. Pan, as far as I knew, was at one point in some fucking edition a god that you could use. But,
I'm pretty sure he is, but I'm like, Pan's the god of, like, wildlife.
Yeah, fucking it up in woods. I don't know. So is there anything that I should be seeing while we're in this fucking market?
Depends on if you're making a perception roll or not.
I am absolutely making a perception roll. Pray for me. That's a natural fucking 20.
Alright,
Oh my god.
you notice
I'm about
that
to show you pictures of this.
on the rooftop now, you see the Dragonborn crouched watching Maximus.
I want him to know that I see him.
Alright,
Do I'm watching you eyes, like the pointer fingers.
Yeah.
he will make
Not as obvious.
he'll make a curt nod and then point to Maximus and draw a single finger across his throat.
She's going to slowly shake her head in a not yet fashion.
He's gonna shrug.
Oh, this is your 20.
Yeah, this is my 20 that allows me to see up onto a rooftop and communicate telepathically.
Awesome.
He's gonna shrug and kind of back away a little slowly.
I'm gonna turn back to wherever the fuck we are.
In the market.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to talk to any of the other shopkeepers, or you just be like, woohoo, we're good?
You trying to tell us that we talked to the wrong produce center?
No. There's only one produce lady. I'm just wondering if you guys want to buy anything.
Absolutely not. This is just light already going.
Okay. So you guys walk down a couple streets
A
and
human-shaped dust cloud is like where she used to be.
nice. All right. Give me 1 second. I've got to take care of something. I'll be right back.
Woo. So guys, how's it going? It's going. The most tired, small voice ever. Great.
Yeah, I can't breathe good, so it's going.
Certainly is.
Everyone keeps fucking demanding things in this freaking Animal Crossing game. I'm gonna start punching people.
All I wanted was fucking pants to wear, and I had to wait a whole ass like a month or some shit, just like checking it every 6 hours until I finally found them, and they were really gross, just like fucking ugly ass, weird rainbow colored like Bahamas. I don't know what you
I
call
bought,
them anymore.
I bought I'm playing the phone one, the Pocket Camp one.
Yeah, that's what I
Okay.
meant.
Yeah. Um,
Just want to kick all these fucking animals off the island itself. Just like, get the fuck out! Me and my fruit only.
my fruit. I like Filbert a lot. The little blue squirrel.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm back.
Whoa! We got to talking about Animal Crossing for some reason.
Oh. Okay, so you guys will venture down a couple streets, and you notice that the guards thin out. There's not a lot of guards anymore. You see a house what has like a storefront. There is a young kid, and by young I mean like 10 or 12. He's outside picking up a barrel of apples.
Do we need to like talk to him, or like we can just walk in the storefront?
I mean, you could just walk in. You don't have to talk to him.
I'll say hi to him.
All
Cool,
right.
I'm leaving.
He will make a curt nod and kind of nod over to the alley beside the house.
Child my ass. Child my whole entire ass.
Okay.
And he'll walk in.
Child of 10 age, fucking does a curt nod.
Everybody in my stories do the curt nod.
Think of a fucking rockin' nod, just like,
He'll walk in to the storefront, and you hear a click of a lock being dropped into place.
What? Did he take his apples with him? Because I'm taking those apples.
Yeah, you know, he took the apples with him.
No fucking barrel of apples for any of us this day.
No, not in this campaign. You don't get any apples.
The lock was on the storefront?
Well, I mean, there's like a.
Hold on. He looked into the alley and then walked into the shop and locked it?
No, he kind of like. He like nodded at you and then kind of tilted his head towards the alley and then walked inside and locked the door.
Oh, okay.
So, just
That way.
get going. Patience is not Liz's strong suit.
Okay.
We can tell.
So you guys walk through the alley and you notice that there's a gate into the backyard behind the house. There is a single tree growing. It is probably about 2 feet around. There are some unripe apples hanging from the branches. All the apples that could be picked and sold have been picked. Um, you notice that there is kind of a worn path to the tree itself. And I need you guys to make a perception check.
Man, these guys do realize we weren't actually talking about apples, right?
22.
19.
7. Jesus.
Alright. Even with Max's 7, the three of you notice a carved dagger into the tree. And it is pointing back towards the back fence, where you see another carved dagger pointing downward.
I mean, you said downward, like where it's on the fence?
Like it's carved into the fence and the blade is pointing downward.
Okay.
How's that carved dagger in that tree make you feel? I look at Skullin.
Not that kind of trip.
Not that kind of trip.
Balance of the universe. You must kill this dwarf.
Yeah.
As you guys approach the fence, you notice that there is a very large flat stone right under the dagger. You notice that there is some, loose dirt around the stone, and that the worn path that was leading up to the tree also leads to the stone.
It's loose earth instead of packed earth, so they probably don't poke it with their foot, maybe. I don't know.
What is this?
Touch the stone.
I'm not in you.
Touch it and die.
Oh,
I mean, you guys can make another perception check or an investigation, or
Sure.
I don't know.
17.
you notice that on the back of the stone towards the fence, there are hinges bolted into the stone.
Okay, this is gonna flip the stone up.
Make a strength check.
How big is this stone?
Probably about 2 feet by 2 feet.
Jesus. That's a 14. Can I get like a little muscle maybe with me?
No, that's plenty.
Really?
I was gonna do it on a 10. All right, so you open this, you flip up the stone on its hinges, and you notice that there is a tunnel leading downward. There's a rope ladder attached to where you could climb down. You notice if you look down into it, at about 40 feet down, there is a torch. You see faint torchlight at the bottom.
Liz is just looking down into this shit like, shit is fucking crazy. What is going on? Why am I doing this? And just, I guess, starts going down.
Okay.
This is my life now.
I like going underground.
All right, so I would assume that the three of you go climb down the ladder.
Yes.
At the bottom, it opens up into a small cavern. There is a chest. Off to the right, it is open. You notice there are torches laying in the chest unlit, to aid, anybody that would like to continue further that can't see in the dark. There's a single path. It's about 7 feet tall, about 4 feet wide. Um, it's stonework. It's not packed with earth, and it leads for quite some way. Like you can't see the end of it.
I can see in the dark, but I'll take a torch anyways for later when I burn the castle down.
Jesus.
Okay.
Yeah,
Planning.
Liz is gonna use one and light it.
All right.
I guess we might as well leave, like, one behind or something.
Just one. Okay.
Let's not be greedy now.
There's like 7 torches in this chest.
Only take one.
Okay. So you guys light the torch and you start walking down the corridor. Um, it leads for about a good fourth of a mile. Like it's a pretty good walk. Um, as you lead to the end of the cavern, you notice a soft light start to emit. Um, you notice that there are, instead of torches, crystals now in sconces instead of torches, and they are giving off a faint green light. As you step out into the corridor onto probably about a 10 by 10 platform, you gaze out into an underground cavern filled with, tents and pavilions, and you see, people milling about. Um, you see some figures in robes kind of weaving in and out of the tents, and you feel like you have found the black market. There's a
Anybody else got something to say?
there's a staircase leading down to the cavern floor. I would assume that you guys go down it. You notice that down here there are pseudo dragons flying around. There's all kinds of magical wares being sold. You notice that the hooded figures have the same dagger plunging into a potion bottle sigil on all of their robes, and you can see that they're acting kind of like the guard system down here, like they're keeping the peace.
So that kid did tell us to like ask for someone that had that, or find someone.
If you're looking for something finer than anything you can find in the black market,
Something that's more than the money that I have.
yes.
That's probably where that shit would be, but I guess we should like check the this area.
You can.
first.
You see that there is a fairly old gentleman, um, and sitting behind a cauldron. Um, he is messing with some bottles and pouring them into the cauldron. Um, he's giving off a faint red aura. There is an armorer, tinkering with a shield. Um, there's general magic wares. Like anything you could hope to find, you could probably find it down here.
I didn't hear your boobs, Rachel.
Oh.
That's good.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
The boobs.
So as you guys walk down into the tents, the man behind the cauldron will actually look up and go, "Is there anything that anybody needs enchanted?"
Listen the fuck up. You did not.
Uh
Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty, Lucifer.
You're not supposed to be here.
What are you doing here? It's like,
huh. Are you actually asking him that?
no, because this isn't technically that kind of crossover. She's gonna ask the price for enchanting.
It depends on what you want enchanted, and if you have the materials for such. For a fairly
She's just like gesture to like the sword, like, I mean, this.
Well, for a basic magical enchantment, I charge around 200 gold.
What kind of enchantments do you got?
Well, I can just put a magical edge on the sword for 200. For around 3 to 4, I can add an elemental to it, and it will deal, you know, a magical sort of damage. If we were looking for more of a sentient item, unfortunately,
Oh no, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
If you're looking to enchant, say, armor, I'm pretty sure that I could do that. Um, Unfortunately, my knowledge on anything more than basic enchantment, I am still researching.
I mean, you got anything that can shut up his fucking chainmail?
I can try.
Oh, great. Great. I'm going to fucking hand over my armor while we're down here in the fucking black.
He will take your chainmail and drop it into the cauldron and go, "Are you looking to be unheard or unseen?"
Definitely unheard.
He will.
Seeing as this shit is jingly as balls.
All right. He will look around, and there will be a mouse scurrying by him, and he will pick it up, drop it into the cauldron. He will pour a flask of liquid onto, into the cauldron, and, wave his hands over it, and a faint red aura will pour into the cauldron, and he will reach in, lift up your chainmail, and it looks exactly like it did. He will hand it back to you and go, "It will rattle no more, and that will be 500 gold.
Okay.
You no longer have disadvantage on stealth."
Yes, that's exactly what I was hoping for. Maybe he'll do that for me in the other campaign.
You notice that he also has the sigil of the dagger and the potion.
So he can escort us, is what you're saying?
He could.
Uh-huh. Anyone else got some shit to say? I'm kind of like lording over this campaign, guys.
What's that symbol there mean? All you guys got on.
This is the symbol of the Assassin's Guild. We keeping the peace would be a very broad term, but we make sure that what happens down here stays down here, and that those that make trouble are dealt with efficiently.
All right, thanks.
I mean, aka us in like 45 minutes when we find what the fuck we're looking for.
Yep, pretty much. So where's the super high end stuff? I came down here to spend a lot of coin, not just
Yeah, I don't have money.
stuff
I'm not
enchanted.
interested in anything.
Where's the real good stuff?
Well, depends on what you're looking for, sir. I seem to find my wares are very high end.
Gold, gems, together. I'm dwarf rich, buddy.
He will
Gems
reach into his robes
together.
and produce a ruby the size of his fist and go, "I have gems aplenty."
Nope. I need to be able to wear them, like on my head.
Subtle.
That's my specialty.
Well, if you were looking for a helmet, my compadre over there is dealing in armor.
Helmets don't breathe well enough. I need something that's open on the top, so I can get air in my head.
So what you're wanting is a crown.
Oh yeah, I guess something like that might be. Yeah, probably something like that.
Well, I'm sure that we could make you a crown.
No, I ain't got time for that.
Stupid. This pain.
He will look at you very warily and go, "What exactly are you asking for, sir?"
I'm asking for a specific apple, buddy.
Oh my
No, it's
god.
The old man will stand up and go, "Ah, we keep our apples in a
Oh my gosh.
we keep
it worked.
we keep our apples in a separate location. Are you sure that you have the gold to spend?"
Oh, I'm sure.
All right. He will he'll look back towards his tent and snap, and the whole thing will do the you guys have seen the Sword in the Stone, right?
Mm-hmm.
The bippity boppy like pack itself into his bag
Yeah.
thing. And he will pick up his bag and
I'll
go,
sell you a sentient broom for 20 gold. Cleans by itself. Roomba is what it's called.
"That is great."
Salem's little Roomba mom now.
Hails by the name Roomba.
He'll look at the party and go, "Are you with them, sir, or are you looking for apples by yourself?"
I don't know. You guys want to buy some apples?
I need money.
Bliss is going to smirk in like a semi-pleased way for like the first time and be like, Yeah, and together.
Well, if you would all would follow me, stick close. I seem to be the most reputable person around here. Keep a hand on your gold, for it may walk off if given the chance.
Jesus.
All right.
And he'll lead you down a row of tents. Um, the further you go, you see you know, people looking more and more shady towards the center of this vast cavern. As you get towards the center, you find a giant pit that has stairs leading down. It is lit by the same crystals that are lighting the whole cavern. And he goes, "We keep our apples further down. You see, they don't like the light."
Is this a familiar looking pit?
A
It's.
familiar looking pit. A
I
pit
don't know.
you
How
have
many pits have you been looking
used as
at?
chasm before?
He will lead you down the stairs. Um, you feel like you go down probably about 50 or 60 feet.
Is there gonna be a fancy dressed skeleton at the bottom?
No. There is a door set into the wall, and he will open it and go, "The apples are behind here. I would be careful for what you ask, for there are certain items within that could get one in trouble. I would warn you, do not touch anything. Some things come with a heavier price than others."
Thanks for the warning.
And he will, hold the door open as you guys step through. You step into what looks like a giant vault set in stone, and in front of you, about 10 feet, is a big wooden desk. Like, I'm talking like CEO level fancy.
It's the
I thought you were,
Black
I thought,
Emporium.
I thought you were gonna say comically large, and I was like, okay, yeah, that works too.
Um, Behind it sits a high elf. He is dressed in very fancy purple clothes, and on his lapel has a pin of the dagger and potion. On his desk is several stacks of paperwork and bound leather books, and he does not notice you as you walk in. He's writing in one of the books.
So is this like help ourselves, or we gotta talk to you?
He'll look up and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot that I did not notice that you were here. Um, I would very, very enthusiastically go no to the help yourself, unless you care to, I don't know, lose a limb or your life. So, yes, you would talk to me. What is it that you are looking for today?"
I
I
look around.
mean,
Is there does there look like there's a crown around anywhere? Or is everything sort of in boxes, or
There are some crates
yeah, is it
against
out
the
in the
wall.
open?
Towards the left wall, there's like rows of crates. Towards the right wall, there is items in glass cases. There's a couple statues. There's like a full suit of armor that seems to like shift every now and then. Um, there's
Bad.
do what?
Bad. Even better.
In one of the glass
Not.
cases, you notice that there's a spear broken apart into three pieces. There's some caged animals.
The
There's
Staff of Malorum by any chance?
I was actually going Spear of Destiny, but
yeah, that was my thought.
Fine.
there's a sword propped up against the wall that's very fine. There are several crowns, in fact, on display.
What are the animals in the cages?
There's like different birds and stuff. They're like small cages. It's not like giant. Um, like different kinds of like parrots and stuff that wouldn't be in this area.
Is he selling them? Or are they pets?
I mean, they look well taken care of.
Okay.
I mean, if they're not gonna mistreat
Okay.
something they're selling.
They're snacks for later.
Shit.
He'll look at Maximus and go, "What exactly are you looking for today, sir?"
We were actually crown shopping.
Well, I seem to have several crowns. Anyone in particular? Maybe one for your wife? A queen's crown would go quite well upon a dwarven brow.
No.
Any that came in the last day,
There you go.
Oh, you're looking for that crown.
if you have it.
I'm not saying that I don't. I guess the question to ask would be, do you have gold worth paying for it?
Anybody else got anything to say? No? Cool.
I can try to persuade him.
You can try.
Do you have some good charisma?
Sure do, but I'll roll it anyway.
Oh! You will kill us all.
Maybe sell it to us, is what I would say.
What'd you
Well,
roll?
I'm going to sell it to you if you have the coin.
Jesus.
Okay, okay, yeah, that's fair. How many coins? I'm sorry,
All
what
of
kind-
them.
What currency?
All of them.
What
How
what
many,
50,
currency?
sorry?
50 silver.
Yes.
What kind of payment? I'm sorry, one more time.
If you have coin, or perhaps if you do not have enough, we could set up a, let's
Indentured
say,
servitude?
payment plan.
Okay. What was the? I'm sorry. What was the first option again? I'm just
Coin.
fucking with them at this point.
Coin, my dear. A vast amount of coin.
Okay. All right.
A vast amount of loins. You have to bone people.
Okay, I'll do it.
And I'm gonna go. I'm gonna look at you guys, and I'm gonna be like, he needs a lot of. And I'll look at him again, one more time. What was it?
Coin.
This just rolls her fucking eyes like, this is great. This is my life.
Okay.
So happy to be here. How
Gotcha.
much?
What are you offering?
Oh, is this how it works down here? No set price.
Depends
Give me a
on.
ballpark of what you want. What is reasonable for you?
Let's see. A stolen crown with 12 heads.
The stolen crown.
A stolen crown. I have several that have been stolen. If you're looking for the one that was stolen last night, I have that.
Yes, that is the one that we speak of.
I will have to charge not only for the crown, but also the lives taken and the difficulty of such a task to procure such an item. May I ask what exactly you're going to do with the crown?
We're here on behalf of an interested party.
Ah. Well, hopefully your interested party has very deep pockets. I'm looking for around, and he'll look back into his ledger and scribble some quick notes and go 8,000 platinum.
Guess we're gonna have to kill him.
I can do that.
Well, rest in peace, sir.
If you do not have such coin, I'm sure that we could contractually obligate you to perform certain tasks for us.
Do you have anything that involves mercenary work?
He just kind of grins and goes, depends on the mercenary.
Myself, of course.
He'll kind of look you up and down and go, depends on the morals of a certain mercenary.
What morals?
Oh, he's probably gonna ask you to kill somebody.
That's fine.
I said it to you aloud.
Yes, dear, that is what we do, for we are assassins. He'll look back towards Liz and go, there is a certain wizard who has been giving us grief on the chairman, on the council. He seems to lack our je ne sais quoi for certain types of work.
So just like a regular person then.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, he's a good guy, and they're like, get off, go away, kind of thing. Like, he holds a seat in the council, and he seems to be hindering their work. If you would take care of him for us, from the difficulty of the task, I would drop it down to say around 4,500 gold.
It's quite the price drop. I appreciate it.
He's quite the wizard.
Are we? I mean, not towards him out loud. Liz, I'm gonna go. We were gonna kill this guy. Not this guy, but the guy we're gonna kill. Or
We're
whatever.
gonna kill
Whatever.
this guy right here. Wait, are we gonna do it? Are we gonna do it, guys? Are we gonna kill him?
You notice that the chute of armor starts shifting uncomfortably.
No, I mean, like, are we gonna kill the guy that?
The chancellor,
Gonna,
dude, whatever.
Yeah.
Chairman.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry,
gonna
I've
go.
been watching a lot of the Marco Polo TV
I'm
show.
gonna go. Yeah, we totally got it, guy. And I'm gonna lie to him.
You're a lie to him? Okay,
We got you, dog. I rolled a 20 on that. Not natural, but I rolled a 20.
that's fine. Alright, he will look at you and go, alright. And he will pull out a black envelope. Give me 1 second, I can let my dog back in.
So what we're doing, guys, while he's gone. Plan!
Yeah. Justin's like 2 feet away from the door the whole time.
Shh, we must hope.
I mean, I'm assuming we're gonna talk to that guy before we kill him. Or maybe we will. I don't really care.
I mean, there's...
I mean, I already lied to the man. I don't want to tell him that I'm gonna tell the truth.
Alright.
Oh, wait, both guys.
He will pull out a black envelope and slide it across his desk. It is stamped shut with a wax seal. And go, this would be the man in question. If you were to take care of him for us, we would
I
be
hope it's the kid.
very gracious.
I take the envelope and I'm gonna open it.
Alright. You pop open the seal, and
As loud as possible.
okay.
Like I've never seen an envelope in my life.
Okay.
Okay.
You pull out a single piece of black parchment, and it's probably, note card size.
Envelope size.
No, like note card size.
Oh, okay.
And written in a very elaborate white calligraphy, it simply says Lucifer.
Okay. Hey, we got it. And I'm just gonna like toss the paper over my shoulder. Okay, and I'm gonna start leaving.
Why would you leave the fucking paper?
Why? We already know who it is. Like we know the paper.
As you toss the paper over your shoulder, it spontaneously combusts.
Okay. That's regular. That's a totally regular piece of paper.
No wonder everything's so expensive. Their stationery is incredible.
Alright.
Well, that's really helpful. Glad I included a physical description of them.
I'm assuming that was like in the thing, but we already know who this guy is because
we
we
know who
just
that guy is.
talked with him.
Oh, you don't know that, but
Hey,
yeah.
we know who this guy is from another
He
campaign.
said he was a chairman, but was it a chairman of the fucking underworld?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought it was like topside stuff.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, might have a few qualms about killing those guys. Feel like that Inquisitor really wants to get up my ass about that shit, so maybe in another context, but you know.
Anyway, you step out from the vault, and the old man is waiting for you, and will lead you back to the main cavern, and go. I see that you have not purchased anything. Was the apples too rich for your taste?
The price was your life.
You don't know it's him.
Price is your life, sir.
Hey, you
Fine.
hold on. Can
We'll
I?
just ask him if he can send us to the chairman. The chairman.
Can I insight check him?
You can insight check him.
Do I feel like I know his name is Lucifer?
Oh,
With a 17.
You
why
feel
would
like you don't know his name, but you could probably ask him.
Can I be like, hey, we didn't have introductions in case we need to find you later?
And he'll look very disheveled. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. My name is Lucy."
Yep, it's him.
That's a weird
Is that
name.
is that short for a longer name?
Well, of course, but down here it is better to not give your actual name.
are
Okay.
you the chairman then?
Like Satan?
He'll look
I'm
at
asking
Liz
if
and
you're the
go,
chairman.
Yeah.
I do hold a certain status amongst the Assassins Guild, yes. Why do you ask?
Is there somewhere we can go to talk that is private?
We do have my quarters. We could convene there if you would like to hold a more private conversation, yes.
We'll love to, thanks.
And he will lead you back to like the back corner of the cavern where there's some doors and stuff, and he'll open one and step through and lead you down a little bit of a pathway and open up into a fairly elaborate bedroom. It's a four-poster bed. You know, there's a writing desk. There's some chests and stuff. Um, on the floor, there's some scribbles of, like he was taking notes and trying to figure something out.
Don't mind me, I just like to watch anyways.
As soon as like the doors close behind the group, I'm just gonna be like, yo, someone's hired us to kill you. I'm saying hired loosely, but you know.
I'm gonna specify who gave us the hit.
That does not surprise me any. He'll kind of take a step back and, pull his hands out of his robe, and he kind of takes a defensive stance and goes, "And what exactly are your plans for such a
Well,
I mean,
job?"
I straight
would
up
you
lied to him
rather
that
die? Or would you rather help us dispatch your friend?
I'm fine with either.
Or 8,000 platinum.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, I already lied and told him we are gonna do it, so I mean, I'm either way. I'm just gonna kind of shrug and be like, Wah.
Well, he will look around and go, "Well, my studies are not quite finished. I would rather retain my life if at all possible. Um,
Sure, that's
Very possible if you can maybe give us some help getting rid of the fellow that decided to put a hit on you. I don't know. Up to you.
well, if we were talking about the man in the vault,
Confirmed, yes.
the ghastly man as such, I perhaps could aid in his dispatchment. What exactly are you asking for?"
I mean, is he a fighter of any sort? Does he have magic?
He dabbles here and there in,
Are you answering as the DM, or are you talking about him?
like, I'm talking as
Okay.
Lucy. He dabbles here and there, and unfortunately, necromancy. But I would not call him a fighter. He tends to have others do his work for him, as shown by you. His own power is not fully developed.
Developed enough to take out 3 people trying to kill him? Developed? Or.
It depends on the skill of the people and the aid that they are given.
What's amenable to you?
Well, I could help you dispatch him. I could enchant your gear to nullify his magic, or we could perhaps set a trap and dispose of him in a quiet fashion.
So, did all of us notice that suit of armor moving?
Mm-hmm. Like it was very evident.
I'm going to mention that to him. Just in case he knows what's going on.
That would be one of his guards. Um, he has bound an undead soul to the armor, and it defends him fairly justly. Um,
Wait, the fire guy again.
no. Um, it seems the normal damage does not phase it, but that is nothing to a wizard. If you would like to go to the full frontal attack, I could help you enchant your gear, or we could do a more subtle approach.
How subtle?
I'll just go straight up fight. I don't care.
Well, we could set a trap in his chambers.
He is currently in his chambers.
He's in the vault.
And where are his chambers?
And you feel they're fairly close by, because like all the important people would have chambers in the same area.
What do you guys think?
Well, I'm
I
not
mean,
a pro, so
I'll fight him.
I don't know about all this sneaky stuff.
Well, we could do it so that if the trap does not kill him, we just start wailing on him till he dies.
Why,
I mean,
why weren't we just killing this Lucifer guy and giving him dude's head?
I like him more.
I mean, I do have a bonus to stealth if I cast a spell for you guys. Not that you need it with your armor enchantment, but I'm just saying for work over there.
I'd be more concerned with if we kill this guy, getting that crown and then getting back out of here. Because killing him is one thing, but getting a hand on the crown and because if we kill him in his chambers and whatever, then we still gotta get down inside the vault. La la la.
Where's the? Hold on.
Lucy can open the vault.
Yeah, Lucy opened the vault for us, so.
Why don't Lucy and I just go down there and take that crown?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Just sneak it out.
I guess.
I mean, if you can try, yeah, that's fine.
I like that.
I
better.
mean, enjoy
then-
whatever happens with that suit of armor.
I mean, what was the armor?
It's just a soul bounded to the armor.
I want
Let's
it.
find out.
It's my own creation. It's not anything you could Google.
Not googling that.
Okay.
I'm googling my fucking spell.
Is it pass without a trace or is it enhanced ability?
It's pass without trace.
Plus
Um,
10.
Unless they're magically tracking me, they can't find me.
Like unless somebody's actually like scrying over me, they can't find me.
That'll work.
Okay. Who wants to come with? I guess. Who's going?
I feel like all of us would be good, but like all of us filing in together would probably immediately cause shit.
How?
Depends
like,
on.
major fucking shit.
Well, if you. I'm trying not to help you guys.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Maybe we
One of us
just
fucking
be
goofs
nearby.
on the stealth.
You have a +10 bonus.
Yeah, I know.
That don't mean
But
that doesn't mean anything for me.
nat ones are still a thing.
I mean, it's 11.
That doesn't change from being a failure.
I know.
I'll still roll one. I mean, maybe two of us could just be close by, and if it goes bad, all we gotta do is run down a couple stairs or something. Or we can all go. I'm up for whatever.
How soundproof did this vault feel?
Very.
Excellent. Let's go.
Yeah, let's do it.
Everybody?
Yep, let's go.
All right. Do you
Alright.
want Lucy to go with you guys or no?
Yeah,
If he is
if
willing.
he wants to, sure.
Oh yeah, he'll go.
Yep.
All right. So he'll lead you back through the maze of the tents and back down the stairwell. He'll stop about like 5 or 6 stairs up and convene with the party and go. So what is the plan exactly?
Fuck him up.
You're opening the vault and we're taking that crown.
You kind of smile and chuckle and go, simplicity is best.
Yep.
Do it.
So he'll walk down and he'll open the door to the vault and hold it open for you guys.
You gonna cast that real quick before we
Yeah,
actually
I did before we got there.
Did we?
Yeah?
We didn't even. Okay.
I don't roll anything.
Bear, go away, please, cat. No. Please. No. You didn't hear that.
All right, so you guys
That.
are going to file into the vault room.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys want to do?
Do we see the crown? Or do we have to go through a set of doors? Do we have to go around the guy?
You have to go around the guy.
Okay.
I need you to stealth around the guy if you're sneaking.
I mean,
Oh
we just,
boy.
I mean, can I just regularly walk because I have leather armor?
I mean, he's kind of focused on his work, but
22.
okay, yeah, you're good.
Oh, we're rolling.
Yep.
That's a 19 because I rolled a 9. Oh my fucking god.
Max, I need you to roll.
What was the plus? Was it +10?
Yeah.
10.
Yep.
I had 24.
Okay.
Nice.
Whew. All right, so you guys sneak along the left side, the opposite way from the pseudo armor, and you get behind the desk, unnoticed. In front of you, you see some of the glass cases and some boxes. Along the back wall, you see a myriad of 5 crowns, all put together in one single case, and the plaque reads "The Crowns of the 5 Kings."
Oh shit.
My character's just gonna like lay down.
What?
I'm getting flashbacks of some kind of deja vu I wasn't involved in. Okay.
I'm just gonna lay down.
Can we like discern what if the one of the kings is if the king's crown we're looking for
You
is
could
one of the
perception it.
5?
We could always ask Lucy.
Just take all of them.
I mean, we
Lucy's
still need to
holding the
know
door
which
so you
one
guys
is
don't
it.
get trapped.
Just put a rock in it.
Just put a rock.
Just move the pseudo armor over there. It's fine.
Yeah.
What am I asking? What am I rolling?
Perception.
27. 20.
If it's above a 20, you're fine.
20 many.
All right. Under each crown, you see a little plaque, and on the highest crown, you see Redwall.
The highest crown.
Like in the case, like they're said in the.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna say like what's the distance between us and the highest crown?
Oh, you could reach it.
Did we roll well enough to just fucking walk down there?
Yeah, you did.
Very good.
Oh my god.
All of you guys rolled like great. Like I was only making it a 15, and all of y'all rolled like 19 plus.
Lit. Okay, I guess we should just go over there. And try to make sure this isn't like
Do we
Mission
need to
Impossible.
roll a stealth for the case?
Yes. It has a fairly elaborate lock on the front of it.
Well, that's not me.
Oh, okay. Okay. Does it feel like it's gotten magic of any sort, or is it just
Not that
like,
you can tell normally.
wow, fake?
Yeah, I have detect
Fake,
magic, but
fake
I
it,
can't.
rude.
It's like I have detect magic, but I can't use it
Why is that?
because my pass without trace was a concentration spell.
We're standing still. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
Guess
if I'm
I'll
just like,
try
hold on, guys, let me detect magic, and everyone just appears, and he's like, what the?
freeze frame.
Maybe we can scare him because we just
I
pop it.
guess I'm gonna roll for thieves' tools, which I feel like is not gonna go great.
Okay.
That's a 22. Never mind. Never mind.
Alright. You manage to pick the lock, and I need you to make a dexterity save.
Yay, traps that I should have checked for.
Depend on it.
To dexterity?
Yeah. Stick
Why?
still.
Okay, that's a 24 then.
Alright. You will move your hand back just in time for a needle to graze your skin as it juts out from the lock.
Oh great, I'm gonna die.
Oh no, it
That's
doesn't
not
like
good.
pierce, it doesn't like stab you, it just kind of like, whew, that was close, kind of thing.
I have a healer's kit. I'm a healer. Don't worry about it.
The lock will pop
Boo,
open,
boo.
and I need you to make another dexterity check.
Check or save?
Like a save. You gotta catch the lock before it hits the ground.
It's also plus 10.
Yeah.
So 19.
Alright, you will catch it.
Oh no, I might be reading it wrong, but you know what? It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, it's good.
Don't worry about it.
I want to check for traps on the fucking crowns, cause I don't want to deal with this bullshit again.
Okay.
I probably will have to deal with this bullshit again, but still, I'm gonna try. Should I do all of them or specifically the one that we came for?
Oh look, I mean, I'm assuming I'm standing near you by the case.
Can you check for traps if you don't have these tools?
Yeah, I mean, you can
Can
look
I
for
just roll?
traps all you want.
Okay. Help me. That's only an 11. I'm ready to die.
20, not natural, but 20.
Okay. There's no traps on the crowns.
Mm.
And if there is, I can fix it. Don't worry about it. Arma, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm just gonna grab the crown. The main crown that
Okay.
I want, and then
Um,
The red one.
I guess
you ease it off
hand it
its.
off to somebody that's
You
have
will
one
reach
of those.
forth and pluck the crown off its velvet pillow and hand it off to. Who are you handing it off to?
I guess whoever reaches for it.
I'll take it, I guess.
Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to do?
What are the other black Sam, the other crowns?
It's just surrounding kingdoms. They all look fairly, they're pretty much the same crown. I mean, there's little differences between the two, but I mean between all of them. Like, one's got an emerald, one's got a ruby, kind of thing like that.
So were those needles like poison, or were they like just poke?
Oh, if you got stabbed by it, you'd have poison. Yeah.
So is it like
I can
insta
fix
kill
that.
poison?
Not
Or
insta
almost
kill,
kill
but it would have been
poison?
bad.
No, could have fixed you. Don't worry about it.
Were there multiples or just one?
Just one.
Damn. I was like, maybe we can just poke the guy and we'll be done. And it's over.
I mean, yeah, if you don't want the other crown, like I got you. Like
There's 4 other crowns in the case, and the case is
I
open.
wanna take the pokey.
no, I
Okay.
mean, like, do we think that he also stole these other crowns, or did like these kings die and they just took them?
I mean, he didn't specifically steal them, I don't think.
I'm
Like
sorry.
it's
What was the whole task of what we're doing?
we're taking this crown
Mhm.
back to the fuckers that arrested us. Because
Okay.
Cassandra commanded
Cassandra.
it
Yep.
so.
I gotcha. All right. Sure. Okay.
Oh, Cassie.
Yeah, I'm with you. Whatever. Yeah.
So you guys are gonna leave the other crowns alone?
Yeah, let's get the hell out of here
I
before
guess.
we get caught.
I mean,
Okay.
whoever wants them can grab them. Let's just isn't bothering with them.
I mean, we already unlocked the case. Like, didn't we already? I'm taking that lock.
Do we need to re-stealth?
Oh wait, do we?
do we,
Was the needle part of the lock?
Yeah.
Okay, so you took the whole lock list.
yeah, I caught it, didn't
Okay.
I?
Yeah.
Without
Okay.
poking myself again, I guess.
Yeah.
I gotcha. Okay.
Is there anything else like really cool in here?
Oh, there's all kinds
That's
of cool
worth
shit in
the
there.
ire of a fucking assassin's guild?
You feel like their most valuable treasures are in this vault.
Hey, can I animal handling check those birds?
Those poisonous scorpion birds?
Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah.
You can.
Okay.
I will let you do it on one of them.
Ooh, which one's the coolest one?
The
There's
most
like
angry.
there's like a parrot that's like it keeps shifting colors. There's
Can I just take it? Can I just take it? Like for me?
I mean, is the bird going to fucking scream at you and draw attention to us while we're moving through a crowd after having just fucking stolen this shit?
That's fine. Can I animal handle everybody? All? How many are there?
I'm gonna handle them all.
there's probably about
Take
3.
every bird.
I will let you
Yeah.
do it on one.
What? Why?
Is it not a spell?
No, my animal handling is part of what it like. Can
You
I
just
get this
roll
bird?
to see if you can pat the cat. That's it.
So what are you trying to take them all with you or
Hold on. Let me. Hold on.
She's trying to bond, I guess.
Why don't you and me leave with the crown and she can wrap
Animal
up what
handling
she's
is
doing?
can I calm a domesticated animal, keep him out from being spooked or into an animal's intention? That's animal. That's like can I just like straight up like take this bird and like put it in my coat and like let go or whatever?
I
Hello.
mean you can.
Like it wouldn't like I can grab it without it freaking out. That's what I want. Like that's my animal handling check on it. It's like I'm just gonna calm it down.
If you roll it, yeah, you can take it.
Okay. On all of them?
One.
I mean there's one bird.
What? You said there were 3 birds.
3 animals. There's one bird.
Oh,
What
what are
are
the
the
other 2
other
animals?
animals?
I was getting to that and you're like, I want
Oh,
all of
yeah,
them.
okay. I was like, whatever.
There is
3
a
animals,
pseudo
3
dragon.
horrible people.
Well, I'm sorry, what was it? What was the second one?
There's a pseudo dragon,
Counts as an animal, okay.
and the third one is a miniature. It's not like a miniature. It's okay. It's a miniature giant spider.
Ugh.
I love it.
So it's probably about the size of a cat,
I love it.
Like, hold on. What kind of
Very
spider?
hard to travel with,
What?
but I
like
love it.
tarantula.
Okay, that's adorable. All right, that's fine. I'm fine with that. Okay. I mean, I'm just gonna tell you my rolls. Like, just tell me if we're good.
That's fine.
I critted, and then I got 2 20s, not natural.
Yeah, that's fine.
Jesus.
Okay.
Someone's very determined
I'm
to
gonna
take fun things.
I'm gonna take the bird. I'm just gonna go whoop, I'm gonna pick it up, and I'm just gonna like tuck it in my robe, and then I'm just gonna like get the pseudo dragon, and I'm like, let's go, and then I just go whoop, and it like hits my
I
arm,
guess I'll grab the spider, cause why not?
and then I'll grab the spider because you didn't roll for it. So I'm just gonna put it like on my
Sure,
brother's
you can
shoulder.
always just hand it off.
All right. They all seem fairly calm.
Or are we settling with weird pets? Or do they want to snatch some other shit before they decide to
What else
kill
is
us dead?
Well,
Fine, guys.
there's a sword. There's a sword leaning against the wall.
Is it sentient and thus unusable?
I don't know. You want to check it?
No! No, I do not!
There's the spear broken into 3 parts. But
Oh yeah, the bird is.
that's pretty close to the dude in the desk and the armor. There's a shield. There's some like skulls and stuff.
Any
Um,
plants?
no plants.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna be like just juggling animals. I'm like, I'm good.
There
Nice!
is
He eats people, I love it!
there is a chest to your guys' right, and it looks very elaborate.
Does it look heavy? Can we take the whole thing?
Oh, it's like a 4-foot long chest.
Okay, so ridiculous like the guy's desk.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it has a lock keeping it shut.
Oh boy, you guys wanna try?
I mean,
just want to go.
Yeah, I mean,
True.
I'm good. We can come back.
As far as I'm concerned, we made it. Now we're just pressing our luck.
The spider's like half like climbing on my face. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm okay.
Is there anything small that I can immediately snatch?
there's a smaller chest that does not have a lock.
Great, it's the baby mimic. Let's go.
Oh my gosh, I would love it.
We're gonna die.
Um,
We're going.
ooh.
Constitution saving throw. No.
I
Cool.
as a DM, I am letting you know that both of the chests are hoards.
Oh, fancy.
That's fine. I'm not taking one.
No,
Are
hoards
there
as
any
in like
just,
it's a
like-
treasure hoard.
No, I know. I know.
Are there any like rando sheets or something so you can like put them over the cages maybe? So we're a little more not fucking carrying out all these damn ass animals.
I mean, he's gonna notice anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna help us. I mean, I'm cool with just leaving them. Like, whatever. Like, what's he gonna? I'll close the cage doors. Like, I'll close them again. Just be like, how did that get out? Oh my god.
I mean, you also know that we're still going to be fucked in terms of this guy.
Like my whole. I'm like.
I mean, you guys still have to stealth out.
Yeah. I'm like talking. I'm just like, how did these animals get out? Like under the spider.
Don't talk. Please don't.
I rolled 24 for stealth out.
Okay. I'm just gonna list some things that are like next to the chest. There is a pair of slippers. There is a javelin. There is a chain shirt. There is a potion perched atop one of the chests.
What color is it? If there's a color attached to the description.
It's a muddy liquid. Inside is a fish scale, a hummingbird tongue, a cat claw, and a squirrel hair.
That is probably speak with animals. Based on the fucking weird pieces of everything that's in it.
What do the slippers look like?
Poisonous. Deadly. Don't touch.
They just look like slippers.
Are they feet like nice slippers?
They're really
Those
nice
fucking
slippers.
Look like slippers.
I'll take the mimic slippers.
That's how it fucking
Okay,
be.
the slippers are slippers of spider climbing. They require attunement.
Perfect.
I'm like, hey, here you go. I'm team the spider. You can take this. You can take the shoes.
Where you wear the slippers, you can move up, down, and across any vertical surface, upside down along ceilings, while leaving your hands free. You have climbing speed equal to your walking speed. However, the slippers do not allow you to move this way on a slippery surface.
Okay.
Cool. Who'd you hand those to?
To you.
I am immediately switching out the shoes.
I got this guy.
Shoving the shoes I was previously wearing into a backpack and just being like, fucking rock, guys.
Okay, you guys don't want to loot anything else.
Yeah, I'm good. I got the animals.
You don't want to look for like bags of gemstones or coins or whatever.
No, sure. I'll take
needs
the. I'll take some whatever gems you want to give me.
No, they're in the chest. I'm letting you like.
The open one or the? Did we open it or no?
No.
Okay.
I have the small chest that probably has some shite in it.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have it with you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm fine with that. I mean, you don't have to share, but yeah, I'm good with the small baby one.
Okay. So you guys are stealthing back out?
Yeah.
Alright, roll it.
That's a fucking 28. Woo!
24.
Okay. We're good. I got 24. That's my.
Okay, yeah, wow. You guys are going to sneak past wearing your animals and such, you guys are gonna sneak back along the right side, and out through the vault door, which Lucy will shut quietly behind you.
Did you kill him?
He'll look at you and go, I didn't hear any sounds of battle. Did you perhaps convince him?
Was that the point where we went? Is that why we went in there?
I mean, kinda.
Let me fix this.
I just thought I knew the crown was a big deal, so I'm going in for the. That's the conversation I heard was like, okay, get the crown, sure, let's go.
Yeah, tell him. Oh yeah, we poisoned him by the way.
Oh yeah.
He's
let's get the hell out of here.
Can I just like for real poison him?
I mean, you guys are already outside of the vault. You
I
could
mean,
sneak back in and stab him with the needle.
I mean, we can go back in later.
I mean, if it's not going to like kill him in like 5 seconds, it might not be worth it.
What is the guy wearing? What's the guy wearing?
Robes.
He's naked.
Just robes?
Just robes.
He doesn't have. Does he wear fancy stuff? Is he wearing
No
fancy stuff?
underwear.
Yeah, it's like very elaborate, like finery robes.
Oh, let me rephrase that. Is he wearing anything metal on him?
No. Well, yes, he is wearing the pin of the Assassin's Guild.
Okay, well, it's not enough damage that I can do. That's not that.
No heat metal works for you.
I know. I know.
Ah,
I'm really
Jesus.
upset. I'm gonna go use that kid.
I'm gonna ask him, be like, how set are you on this dude dying? Because, I mean, I can go back in there.
I'm just gonna get.
He does not need to die today. I can take a contract out on him, the same as he did on me.
I mean,
Sounds good.
do you have a better payment of what he would have paid us?
He'll look at all the animals climbing around you and go, I think you have payment enough.
Don't worry about that.
She had those when we went in.
I got these all the time. These are mine.
Don't worry about it.
He will motion to the stairs and go, before
20 on that deception roll, by the way.
you're actually
Yeah.
They were just like under my cloak.
I got these.
The whole time.
These have been the whole time. Yo, I want to fucking fight somebody.
okay. He's like, well then, I can open the door back and you can kill him.
We're still invisible, so it's
Listen, we're going to fight him and his fucking suit of armor.
That's fine. I can cheat melee.
I don't know how fucking strong this thing is, but
What's it
you
gonna
don't
do?
wanna fucking
Not
dance?
melt?
It is magic.
Melt shit, does it?
No, it just makes it really hot.
Exactly. Like,
I mean, you guys can go back in and fight him if you want.
cool. I'm just gonna leave all the shit I picked up.
It says
Not-
if a creature,
not- The boots or the slippers.
if a creature is holding or wearing the object that it takes damage from, the creature must succeed on a Constitution save or drop the object if it can. If it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
So I mean, it's still gonna.
It's gonna hurt. This is not gonna
It's
melt.
just like,
Maybe he's just like relying on his big buff tin can
I mean,
to.
I'm pretty
Is it-
confident that I can fucking destroy this guy.
Alright. Yeah, let's just sets down the shit and then takes to the walls with his spider boots.
All right, Lucy will. You kind of shake his head at you guys, just bickering amongst yourselves, and open the door to the vault again.
What are you expecting, guy? I don't fucking know you.
I'm gonna.
Hey, can you hold these?
I'm gonna.
Just, like,
Yeah, I'm
shove
gonna.
3
Yeah,
things into
I'm
his
gonna like.
arms.
Be like, you guys good? You guys good? I'm gonna check with the animals again.
They'll remain where you put them.
Okay.
They'll hang out on Lucy. How about that?
Oh no. I hope he doesn't have a fear of spiders or pseudo dragons for some reason.
I kind of like the spider on me. Okay, yeah. I begrudgingly hand them over, and I'm just gonna like go, like do the eye thing between me and him,
Watch you.
and then I'm gonna hold poison spray in my hand.
Okay. So you guys walk in, and his attention is still on his notes.
Okay.
Is it...
Oh, I'm technically not invisible, so you guys are all set still. Oh no, you're not. You're not invisible because I just cast the spell. It's technically a cantrip. Is it a spell? Yeah. Okay. Yep. We're
Yeah.
not invisible anymore.
I mean, is that how it works, or is it if you do another concentration spell?
No, as soon as you cast another spell, you break concentration.
Oh, you cast invisibility on us?
No, pass without a trace.
I was gonna fucking think, like, you're still invisible. It's like, wait, what?
I thought I
No?
I thought I was, and then I
Okay,
I
cool. So
mistaken.
is the distance from the ceiling to where he is like as tall as Liz? Like, can't you just like boop him on the top of the head with the fucking needle?
You could
Just
smack
stab
him.
upwards / downwards into his fucking throat, just like
You could clock him on the top of the head.
But can I poke him on the top of the head?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna move forward to do that.
Alright, you will climb the wall and hang upside down from the ceiling directly above him. The suit of armor will shift and look up at you.
I'm gonna stab him as quick as I can.
Roll damage.
How much is fucking damage?
Or roll your attack and then damage on whatever weapon it is.
So fucking daylight savings me. That's a 20 to hit.
Okay.
And how much damage is there for a small needle?
Oh, I didn't know you were stabbing him with a needle.
Yeah, that's what I meant with stab.
Oh,
Like,
you're gonna stab him in the head
poke
with the
him.
needle.
Can I
Roll a
fucking
d4.
pierce his delicate skin with this needle?
Yeah, roll a d4.
Alright. Okay, let's fucking do this. That is only 2 damage, but you know.
Okay. The poison will give him disadvantage on rolls and will kill him in 2 minutes.
Yes.
That's like 60 rounds.
Yeah, that's a long time in D&D.
I mean,
He will
it's
become
just like GTFO.
he will notice and look up at you, and I need everybody to roll um what is that called?
Initiative.
That initiative. Everybody roll initiative.
You know, I got the worst that I've ever seen in my life. I got a 4.
18.
Is it
Alright.
possible to like jump up and then fall down on him?
Yes. Alright.
Grapple! Grapple! Eventually. Not my turn yet.
Give me 1 second. My sister is texting me.
Why D&D? What do you want?
Pretty much. Okay. Initiative will go Max, Scullin, the Necromancer, the Suit of Armor, and then Liz.
Great. Fabulous.
Alright. Max, it is up to you.
Yeah. If I can get to him, I'll go up and swing my maul at him.
Alright.
I have a 21 to hit.
Okay, you will hit him. And roll 2d6 and plus 8.
11.
Alright. You have another attack.
Yeah, I'll hit him again.
Okay.
It's a 24 to hit.
Okay.
And, the damage is 13.
Okay. He does not look happy. It is now Rachel's turn.
Right. What's the distance? What's the width of his desk?
Like
If I'm standing in front of.
5 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna approach the desk, and I'm gonna go with a poison spray and like sort of whatever.
Okay.
He needs to make a Constitution save. Um, he needs to be 14.
Yeah, he fails.
Okay. Okay. Roll my damage. Uh-oh. 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 He'll take
Doesn't
7
sound good.
poison.
He'll take 7.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. He still doesn't look happy.
And then bonus action, I'll use Shillelagh on my quarterstaff that I also
Listen,
grabbed.
is doesn't look happy just fucking flavor, or is like he gets
It,
fucked up?
It's flavor.
That's fair. We're good.
He looks super happy for some reason right now.
Alright, he will cast Mage Armor upon himself.
Yeah, you're fine.
The suit of armor will take a step towards, or he'll take movement towards Max, and he will make an attack. Do what?
At the door. Or is it Max at the door?
No, Max beat dude with a maul.
He
Oh,
walloped
yeah.
him
Okay.
on the head.
Yeah. All right. Sorry. Okay.
Alright, he will miss both attacks.
Classic.
Like, he rolled a 2 and a 13. And Liz, it is your turn.
Oh goody. I can't just like stab up slash down and just get on the head.
You could.
Oh, I don't know if that's gonna do enough. That's a 20 to hit with my longsword and a 21 with the mace. Oh great.
Uh-huh.
That is 20 whole damage.
Okay,
That's
he
my
is
turn.
bloodied.
Yes. Fuck you, squishy mages.
Alright, it goes back to Max. It is your turn.
Alright. 22 to hit,
Uh-huh.
and it is 14 points for that attack.
Alright.
23 to hit with the second one, and that is a 16 points on that attack.
Alright, he's looking pretty bad.
I get that extra attack once per day. Can I throw that in there too, or is that
Yeah, you can action surge right now. Yeah.
we're doing it right now?
Okay.
Let's just beat this fucking guy down. 15
Yep.
is 15 points of damage.
Alright, he's looking very bad. And Rachel, it is your turn.
Beg for your life!
Like, he is
Beg for
extremely
it.
bloodied.
Okay. What's the armor doing? Just looking at Geneva stuff.
Well, I mean, it went to attack Max and missed.
Oh, okay.
That's
What's
what
it-
I'm saving my action surge for.
What's the difference between distance between the guy and the suit armor?
Probably about 7 feet. Like, Max is in between the guy and the suit.
Ha.
Okay. I guess I'll roll to hit the guy.
Okay.
21.
Okay, it'll hit.
And I'm hitting with a magical weapon. I don't know if that matters or not.
Not really.
For 11.
Okay.
And I'm done.
Okay.
I think
He is very unstable on his feet.
Okay.
And it is his turn. What spell do I want to use? He is going to cast Chilling Touch on Max, or he's going to try to. He critically failed. He went to grab
His
you.
own dick.
He went to grab you, and you evaded, and he actually hit his own suit of armor,
Ooh.
dealing. Hold on, rolling dice. 26 damage
Holy shit.
to the armor. The armor will try to hit Max. It will hit. And you will take 7 damage. And it is Liz's turn.
Oh boy. I guess I'm just going to stab him again.
Okay.
That's a crit fail for the longsword, and a not great for the mace. I got a fucking 11, guys.
Yeah, you missed. On your
That's
crit
bad.
fail, you're gonna swing and fall off the ceiling.
Damn.
Roll the d4.
Okay. 1 damage.
You will take 1 damage as you fall onto the mahogany desk.
That is mahogany.
Mahogany.
And my ass is on it now.
Yes. Alright, it is Max's turn.
17
It'll hit.
And it is 16 points of damage.
Alright, you don't even have to make a second attack.
Alright.
As you swing your maul, you are going to smack him in the face. It is going to, like, crumple his face, and you're going to, like, splat him.
Fucking wrecked.
The suit of armor will fall to pieces, and you guys are out of initiative.
Boom.
I'm gonna go back to Lucy and get all my stuff back.
Fuck it,
Go,
I take,
hey, so
Really, thanks.
I take the rest
Spider
of
back on
those
my face.
crowns.
Okay.
Yeah, can we go for the big chest?
You can. You're gonna have to unlock it.
Can we just carry it? We're strong as fuck.
I mean,
You're gonna carry a chest through the frickin' carnival of frickin'
it's too many.
of people.
Hey, look at it. It'd be like, hey, don't worry about it. It's just ours.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna try to open it.
We
Bought
left this here.
That's not great. That's 12.
Nope, I'm not gonna do it.
Can I assist?
My lockpick.
You can try again.
Oh, okay.
Can I roll? Yeah.
Yeah, you can try as many times as you want.
Oh, that's 15.
Nope.
Yeah. Figure this is like a DC fucking 20, 25, 30 maybe.
Can
luck.
can I get a set of lockpicks and assist you?
I don't know. Can you?
DM.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Dark Master? Yes.
I searched the guy. Does he have keys on him?
He does.
Yeah.
What am I adding to? What am I?
He has the key to the chest.
Oh.
What else does he have in his
I'm
pocket?
opposite.
Nothing. He has got like a quill.
Damn.
All right, you
So
unlock
I'm
the
assuming
chest.
His fancy clothes are like all cut the fuck up.
Yeah. All right, inside the chest, there is a large gold bracelet worth 250 gold. There is a well-made tapestry, 250 gold. There's a silk robe with gold embroidery for 250. There is a potion of Hill Giant Strength, which when you drink it, it ups your strength score to 21 for 1 hour. There is a Pearl of Power. You can use it, speak an action of a command word, and regain 1 expended spell slot. Cannot be higher than a 4th level. There is a Wand of Magic Missiles that has 7 charges. And there is a Battle Axe of Warning. It is a magic weapon that requires attunement, and it warns you of danger of your person within 30 feet.
Oh my god, we have Sting. The Sting.
What's the tapestry? What's on the tapestry?
It's just real nice.
Naked people. Nothing special.
Can I take the tapestry and the robe? Unless you guys want either of those.
No, you can take all of that shit.
There's also 1 potion of fire breathing
Fancy tapestry.
that allows you to use basically fire breath for 1 line of 30 feet, 5 by 30, and it's 4d6 damage
That's really
on
funny.
a fail save of 13 dexterity.
I'm gonna like take off my little bag that I have all my plants and stuff in, and I'm gonna put it down and put the like robe on over my regular.
There's also
Room for
a pair
plants.
of gloves that are gloves of thievery, and they are invisible when worn. When wearing them, you gain a +5 to dexterity sleight of hand checks. And that's all I'm giving you, because...
That's pretty fair.
Yeah.
Can I ask Lucy about that set of chainmail?
Like the
Chain
ones you're
shirt.
wearing, or the chain shirt?
No, the chain shirt that was on the table.
Oh, it's adamantium.
Okay, so like a +1.
It's an AC of 13, and you no longer can be critted against if you wear it.
That's nice, but also, where's the fun if you can't get fucking killed?
Alright, so you guys collect all your loot, and you can distribute that however you want. Lucy will hand back all of your items that you left with him. He will lead you up to the...
The spider's like already on
Okay.
You're cool with us taking this, like, right?
Yeah, he's fine with it.
We're just gonna leave the guy dead in there.
Yeah, might as well.
Yeah. Natural causes.
I mean, we could
Natural
always
maul to the
make it
face
look
is
like
natural
his
causes.
suit of armor killed him.
That's what it looked like to me.
Can I detect magic on that armor?
Yeah, it's just normal armor now.
Okay, so the soul,
Yeah,
went
it's
off
gone.
to do its thing.
So, did it have a sword? Or was
No,
it like,
it did not. It was just a suit of armor.
okay, so it had no weapon.
No,
Damn.
it wasn't very high level.
I was gonna say, maybe we should have just, like, stabbed that weapon into the guy so it looked like shit went wrong.
We can like pose the armor to like choke him. And then we'll,
The armor is in
whoa.
pieces. Like it fell
Okay, yeah,
apart
just,
into
like,
pieces.
Why don't we
the
just
gauntlets,
why
like,
don't we just
there.
why don't we just put him in the armor and then put the armor back where it was?
That's fucking insane, and I love it.
You can do that. That's fine.
Pretty fucked up, but yeah.
Lucy, go pick that guy.
All right. So Lucy will, if you guys are done down here, he will lead you.
Can we just say we set him up like he was the suit of armor?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Kind
Um,
of like discipline.
he will lead you back to the entrance to the black market. He will offer each of you a pouch of 500 gold.
That's exactly how much I paid for this enchantment.
And go, I think the objects that you have taken will, be payment enough for your deed. I thank you very kindly, and if you need anything else, don't be afraid to come see me at my stall.
I'm
And
just gonna go.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna go. Hey, no problem.
you guys will go back through the the hole in the ground by the apple tree and come out, and it is dusk. Um, you guys walk back to the market. The people in the market have put away their wares and stuff. Like they're heading home. Like they're
Do you
done
think
for the
that we
day.
could, like, stash this shit at the granny's house while we go give the crown so it, like, can't rob us? not, not how that works, but I don't know. I don't think we want to look more well off than we were when we left.
You can do that.
Lock it in my
All right.
fucking room at the tavern that they stole me from.
You can do that too. Which would you prefer?
I mean, I don't trust that son or that grandson enough, but also those fucking locks there ain't that great.
You could put the master lock that you lockpicked from the chest on your door.
So basically, I just had a whole ass lock in my hand and just like pop,
Yep.
tapped it on his head.
Yeah, you did.
Love it. I'm assuming the poison is gone.
Yeah, yeah. The needle's gone.
Okay, I guess I'll just do that.
All right. So you guys lock all of your extended wares in Lys's room and head.
The fucking phone. I don't have a set of keys.
Lockpicks. Anyway, you guys head back to the jail, and the guards will stop you and ask what business you have here.
I'm gonna stand outside because I wasn't part of this jail. So shenanigans.
Did
Unless
we
you guys
catch the name of the Inquisitor?
No,
Cassandra.
she goes by the Inquisitor.
Oh wow.
The Inquisitor will want to see what we have.
All right, the guards will go inside and let you guys in through the iron door. You notice that the elves are gone.
Nice.
They'll lead you back into the back room past the iron door, and the Inquisitor will look at you and go, "What information do you have for me?"
Information.
Who has the crown right now? Someone just like fucking throw it across the table at her.
I didn't have it. I think you had it, didn't you?
I guess like plant friend.
Oh wait,
had
I
it,
did.
but
I did.
I'm not going in.
I'm just gonna like I'm gonna have the door and I'm just gonna you're just gonna see like in, and I'm just gonna like push the crown in the door and be like, okay, go.
You brought the school and they're outside holding it.
Yeah, I'll.
Alright,
I
guys,
guess
never
I'll
mind.
grab the crown.
Okay. You'll give it to. I almost called her Cassandra.
That's who we know she is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You'll give it
I'll
to the
ask
Inquisitor.
her to be an asshole. Like, not like fucking fastball pitch it, but
Be like, this crown. Yeah.
just like the underhand toss that you use for small children.
Right. All right. She'll catch it and look at you amazed and go. Where did you find this?
Don't worry about it. Did you hear me muffling go like, don't worry about it. Oh, I'm not there.
Yeah, what she said. I don't think you want to know.
Well, you have done a great service to the crown today, and I thank you.
16-year-old punk is the king. I'm gonna punch his face.
The crown owes you a great debt, and if you were ever in need of anything, just simply come to me and ask, and I will do what I can.
My brain was like, ask her anything. Let's not do that. I don't plan on staying in this fucking town that long. Anything, Inquisitor?
She will hand you a token with 2 crossed swords over an hourglass
Oh man, I wonder
Glasses are
what
like,
this is.
and go, when you turn in your favor, please give these back, and they are good for whatever you wish. Alright, and that is all I have planned.
Yay!
Yay,
so that was like, we take this to like any shop and be like, please, suit me, dress me in your finest silks.
I thought it was good for like a free drink at the tavern. It's like, dude, thanks.
That's what you're gonna turn in your
Like
royal
free drink
favor
on
for a
token.
drink.
That's what it is.
You got like the meal ticket that doesn't work.
Alright, give me a second here, let my dog out.
Alucard, what are you talking? Free back rub at your nearest brothel.
Guinness. Or not.
Get those for
Oh
free anyway.
gosh. Geneva, I'm gonna send you this thing.
Oh boy. What hell could you possibly have wrought this time?
It's not as good as the donut with the duck floaty.
God fucking damn it. How dare you bring this before my eyes again?
Did you scroll? Hold on, Geneva, don't look at it.
Oh.
It's too late, I'm already fucking
I should
looking
probably
at it.
stop
I
the
hate it.
recording.
Oh,